súnmọ́ bí. Olóyè ayé ẹ má bá mi ká lọ. Ẹ ọ̀fọ̀ ìgbéyàwó ọ̀rọ̀ ilẹ̀ ẹnu mi. Mo ní igi là ń bẹ nígbò ìgbò. Ìgbò ìmà mi wò lọ. Àràbà yìí wá ń gbìyànjú kò dọ́mọ kó wà lárẹ́rẹ́ lọ. Igi ńlá iyọ̀ wà lóhun tó máa fi ṣàràbà lóore. Oníwíwó ní káràbà ìlọ́wọ́ láwùjọ igi. Onílé wo e kò máa gbúdọ̀ wò. Àràbà ní egbúdọ̀ wọ láwùjọ. Ṣọ́dá àbáwọn sọ Fúlàní wọ̀nyí bó ṣe ń pa wá. Ṣó wá sùn ọkọ̀ máde ẹ mọ́ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ kó jáwọ́ ní. Àwọn àgbààgbà ikọ̀ wọn kò tíra mú odò sí wa kó wà láyé rẹ̀ lọ. Ó máa ṣe òye kò máa gbúdọ̀ wò. Àràbà ní egbúdọ̀ wọ láwùjọ. Èrò bá mi kọ́ mọ́dé mọ́. Èmi kí ọmọ yíyọ ilẹ̀ akíkanjú ọkùnrin ogun. Èrò bá mi kọ́ mọ́ wọn ní igbó ọmọ rẹ̀. Iná máa rógún màmá ti di pẹ̀lẹ́ ọmọ bàbá rógún màmá ṣojo. Sunday ẹ̀yẹ tó má ṣe bọ́ kí yẹn ò sí ní gbọ́mọ́. Òrìṣà tí ó ṣe bọ́kọ̀ màdé mọ́ ni ṣe bí yẹn ò kọ́ mọ́ lágbẹ̀dẹ. Ẹ bá lè jẹ́ ẹ̀bọ̀nà jẹ́. Adéyẹmí ọmọ sọ kọ̀ọ̀kan láì dá. Kìkì orí tó máa kọ́ ni wípé Yorùbá nation ìlógó ìbá kìíní. Ẹ dàbí rẹ̀ ṣọ̀wọ́n òye kó máa gbọ́dọ̀ wò. Kò máa gbọ́dọ̀ wò, kò nílé wò ẹ́. Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ jẹ́ ká rórí. Ọjọ́ wo ni wọ́n dalẹ̀ Ifẹ̀ tán gangan? Àwọn kan sáré kó lè dára. Èrè bó bàjẹ́ kó kàn mí làwọn kan sá. Ṣó dára kí dára ṣó ìwà lọ́kùn. Yorùbá ìrònú kẹ́lọ́ fi mọ̀ ṣọ̀kan. Ọ̀sán ló pọ̀ tán ìwà ká. Kò máa gbúdọ̀ wò. Àràbà ní egbúdọ̀ wọ láwùjọ.
àràbà ni kò gbọdọ̀ wó, gbogbo ohun tó bá gbà ní aláti ṣe fún àràbà yẹn pé kó má bàa wó, nítorí pé àníyàn àwọn kan ni pé àràbà tá à ń sọ yìí òun náà ni bàbá wa Chief Sunday Adéyẹmọ Ìgbòho Òòṣà, gbogbo ohun tó bá gbà òun la máa fún tí àràbà yẹn ò ṣe ní wó. Mo kí wa pé ẹ káàárọ̀, a kú ìdájí níbikíbi tí Ọlọ́run bá ti ní kẹ́ tó máa gbọ́ wa. Mo kí gbogbo ọmọ Oòduà, mo kí gbogbo ọmọ aládé, mo kí gbogbo wa pé ìta ń fẹ́ tó wù wá lọ́kàn òun náà ló wù Elédùmarè lọ́kàn, òun ni kò ṣe jẹ́ kó tì sú wa, torí pé tó bá jẹ́ pé bó ṣe ń wù wá lọ́kàn tí kò wù Elédùmarè pé àtẹ̀fẹ́ ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation yìí mọ́. Àwọn tó wà nílé à ń kí wọn, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mo kí gbogbo àwọn tí wọ́n ń bẹ níta lẹ́yìn odi. Wọ́n ní orúkọ tó bá wùyàn nìyàn máa ń jẹ́ lẹ́yìn odi. Bó bá jẹ́ pé ìlú wa gbádùn tó rọrùn ni, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwa tí à ń káàkiri tí a fẹ́ lọ gbé nílùú míì, inú Nàìjíríà làbá máa gbé, àná ní any reason láti fẹ́ lọ gbé ní ibòmíì. Orúkọ tèmi a máa jẹ́ Ọláyọmí Kóìkì tí gbogbo wa mọ̀ sí Kóìkì Media. Mo kí yín pé ẹ káàbọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹ fìdí kalẹ̀. Èyí tá à ń bá lọ ní ọ̀sán àná òun la tún fẹ́ dẹnu kò, nítorí pé Isil ó ti wà ní ìkàlẹ̀ ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà according to United Nations Security Council. À ń bá ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn lọ ní ọ̀sán àná, àmọ́ àyè ò gbà wá púpọ̀ láti parí ẹ̀, nítorí pé iṣẹ́ dẹ̀ pọ̀ lọ́wọ́ wa tí a fẹ́ máa sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí. A dẹ̀ fi jẹ́ kíkan kó máa dín kan lọ́wọ́, ìyẹn la ṣe tún máa padà sí ti ISIS yẹn, so that ká lè dé ládé dáadáa. Bó bá dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé a tún máa continue náà fúnjọ́ mélòó kan ni kò má tà, nítorí pé ISIS kò ń ṣe tíyàn fi ń ṣeré rárá. Ibi tó bá wọlé sí àgbákò ni. Mo bọ̀ nù.
Ọba mẹ́wàá ìgbà mẹ́wàá yóò máa lò lé ayé gbọ́. Lọ́ba lọ́ba lóye lóye Yorùbá, mo bẹ̀ yín ẹ ṣayé ìṣirè. Kò bàjẹ́ láyé Olúgbọ́, kò má bàjẹ́ láyé Àrẹ̀sà o. Kò má torí tí yín bàjẹ́ òye. Abẹ́ orí àrùgbó Yorùbá ó máa fọwọ́ rọ́ọ̀rì kú mọ́. Ẹ bá ọ̀nà lọ́mọ kéékèèké kú sí.
Ojoojúmọ́ láwọn èèyàn ń kú, bí ṣe máa ń sọ pé kò sílùú kan tí èèyàn kì í kú, àmọ́ tá bá wo ti location confusion, location má ṣàǹfààní, location ìbànújẹ́, ìyẹn á máa mọ̀ pé bá a bá kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà, ìbànújẹ́ yẹn kò ní lọ kíákíá. Bá a bá ti kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà ta tún sọ fún wọn pé ká fi wọ́n sílẹ̀, ẹlòmíà ní ẹ jẹ́ ká fi wọ́n sílẹ̀, bí a ta bá ṣe politics díẹ̀ sí ọ̀nà àlà. Ọ̀nà yẹn ò lè là, nítorí pé Ọlọ́run ọba gan ó rí i pé ìtàjẹ̀sílẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà, the amount of blood that flows in Nigeria on a daily basis, you would understand that it is not worth keeping Nigeria. And those that say we should keep Nigeria, the question that I'm asking them is, what is the benefit of keeping Nigeria? What is the advantage of keeping Nigeria? And why should we continue with a country that don't like the citizen itself? Ẹ mọ̀ pé ọ̀tọ̀ ni pé kí ìlú fẹ́ràn ọmọ ìlú. Tá bá sọ pé àwọn ìlú kan wà nísìn, ìfẹ́ tó ní sí ọmọ ìlú wọn, ìyẹn fẹ́ lè máa béèrè pé ṣé ìlú táwa ti wá yẹn, ǹjẹ́ wọ́n tẹ̀ nífẹ̀ẹ́ wa? Torí tó bá nífẹ̀ẹ́ yín ni wọn ò ní gbé epo tí wọ́n ti adulterate, wọn ò ní gbé wọ Nàìjíríà débi pé wọ́n á tún tà fún wọn, ìwà tún gbé sínú jẹnẹrétọ̀ ẹ, nítorí pé wọ́n ò fún ẹ níná. O mọ̀ pé tó bá yẹ pé wọ́n fún ẹ níná nísìn, bí mi ṣe níná nínú inú ilé mi, bọ̀ kò ń ṣọ̀fẹ́, èmi náà sanwó fún ni. Bọ̀ tó bá yẹ pé wọ́n fún ẹ níná, o ò ní láti tan jẹnẹrétọ̀, nítorí pé ooru mú àwọn ọmọ nínú ilé, àbí ẹ fẹ́ wo TV, ẹ fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan kan. Wọ́n tún wá lọ ímpọ́ọ̀tì epo tí wọ́n ti da oríṣiríṣi nǹkan sí wọ́n tún wá ń tà yẹn fún yín, ìyẹn kan. Wọ́n tún wá ṣe kí ni? Wọ́n tún wá make sure pé ìnira ó pọ̀ rẹpẹtẹ nínú Nàìjíríà. Bá ṣe ń sọ̀rọ̀ báyìí nísìn, ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ èèyàn ò tí ì mọ ohun tó fẹ́ jẹ bílẹ̀ bá mọ́. Aago 4:30 ló fẹ́ lù nísìn. Bílẹ̀ bá fẹ́ mọ́ ní Nàìjíríà ti tàárọ̀ yìí, tí aago 5:30 fẹ́ lọ lù lọ́dọ̀ tí yín, àwọn èèyàn ti máa dìde, wọ́n fẹ́ kí àsùbà. Ẹni fẹ́ kí àsùbà kò tí ì mọ ohun tó fẹ́ jẹ. A dẹ̀ ń sọ pé ọ̀rọ̀ àsùbà, ọ̀rọ̀ ìrun asri, ọ̀rọ̀ ìrun magrib, ishai àbí zoo kò kan ẹni tébi ń pa. Bébí bá ń pààyàn bó bá wà lórí ìrun gan, nǹkan míì ni wàá máa sọ. Ìyẹn ló ṣe ní pé nígbà míì wàá kọ́kọ́ fi nǹkan tẹ́lẹ̀ ẹnu bó bá láníyàn gan sẹ̀kú gbàwẹ̀. Nígbà tásìkò bá tó bá tí tètè lọ break, tó bá wà lórí àdúrà yẹn, nǹkan míì ló máa sọ. Ìyẹn náà lọ sọ́dọ̀ kìrìsìtẹ́nì bẹ́ẹ̀, ó lọ sọ́dọ̀ àwọn aláwo, àwọn babaláwo, àwọn oníṣẹ̀ṣe. Ìtàn sọ nìyẹn, bọ̀ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ní torí pé a fẹ́ jẹ́ kí Yorùbá débẹ̀. Èmi wá béèrè pé kí nìyẹn ní ṣe pẹ̀lú táǹfà. Wọ́n ní pé nígbà tó di pé àsìkò Yorùbá máa dé, ìyẹn làwa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ń kígbe Yorùbá nation, Yorùbá nation. Wọ́n ní àwọn agitator, àwọn ìyá kan wà, àwọn bàbá kan wà, àwọn òkú kan wà, wọ́n ní àwọn agitator. Ẹni tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀gan pé kó wá jẹ president yín kò ní rẹ́kọ̀dù kan ta lè point sí pé ní tí Tinubu ṣe leléyìí àbí ní tí Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù ṣe leléyìí, àfi kó máa sọ pé báyìí làwọn ṣe. They are more concerned about their own selfish interest tí wọ́n lọ́wọ́ after. Kò ṣe àjẹ́ àwọn nìkan. Ṣé àwọn fẹ́ sọ pé làákàyè tiwọn níbi tó dé yìí, níbi tí wọ́n ní làákàyè dé, níbi tí gbogbo àwọn tó ń pariwo àtàwọn ọmọ Ìgbò tó fẹ́ jẹ president àtàwọn ọmọ Haúsá, ṣé làákàyè wọn máa sọ fún wọn pé Nàìjíríà ń ṣiṣẹ́? Ṣé unity ni wá? Are we ever one? So why are we trying to build a country that is not going to work? Ọ̀rọ̀ ISIS yẹn mo fẹ́ ká padà sí. Bọ̀ká tó padà sọ̀rọ̀ ISIS, máa play fídíò kan fún wa láàárọ̀ yìí. Sórí fídíò yẹn, àná lèmi náà ṣe ẹ̀kọ́ lù ú. Ó hàn pé lórí iṣẹ́ ta gbé dání, bó bá ń káàkiri tó ń ka oríṣiríṣi, especially with this adulterated petrol, tó bá lọ sórí Twitter handle David Odoye, wàá mọ̀ pé ìbànújẹ́ ní Nàìjíríà jẹ́ tó bá sì ever think pé ká wà ní Nàìjíríà, because wọ́n ti pàlú yẹn rẹpẹtẹpẹ. The country has been killed, but those inside Nigeria have no clue the situation in Nigeria. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti darapọ̀, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń náwó data lójoojúmọ́ ní Nàìjíríà tó jẹ́ pé ó ń bà wá nínú jẹ́ pé kò jẹ́ kó rí bẹ́ẹ̀, but lára ìfẹ́ tí Nàìjíríà ò ní sí wa, òun náà nìyẹn. Wọ́n sọ internet data, wọ́n sọ di crude oil. Mo rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Ìyá wa Gbémilékè, ẹ káàárọ̀, ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni mò ń kí bàbá wa Adégbóyèga Rafiu, mo kí ìyá wa Mojí Adésànyà, mo kí ìyá wa Táíwò Ibrahim, mo kí Adéyínká Afọláyan, Rẹ̀mílẹ́kún Olúkòkun, Abíọ́dún Ọmọdára, Ayọ̀ Àlàbí, Ìdòwú Ọdẹ́bọ̀dé, ìyá wa Oyèkànmí Ìbídíran, Lánrè Bákàrè, Alimat Saliu, Ola Innocent, Sanami Jonathan. I greet all the Biafrans. I greet those even in the northern part of Nigeria. And I say, I don't have a problem with you. For those watching in the northern part of Nigeria. But the question is, I don't want to be part of Nigeria because Nigeria is not our country. You must have your own country. Let us have our own country. If I decide in the future I want to come and stay in the north, I will come. If I want to do business in the north, I'll set up my media organization. As long as I feel that I'm comfortable and then there will not be any kind of crisis and then the whole station will be burnt down, I will come and do so. But at this present time, I don't want to live in a Sharia country that dictates how I live. I don't want to be part of a system where Isil has literally taken over. That's why we are fighting. That's the cause and the reason. It's not because we don't want to play politics, but I don't want to play the politics that have been played ever since the country was created by British government. That's it. I greet everybody on Instagram, Twitter, wherever you're listening on the MixLR. Ayo Alabi say Nigeria is not my country. Yoruba nation is my country. Mo kí yín bẹ̀ bàbá wa Wọlé Ajíbọ́lá. èmi ò ní jókòó síbí kí n larúkọ mọ́ yín lórí tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ bí tọmọlúàbí tọ́ bí dáadáa wọ́n bí mi nílé eré ló ti bí mi. I don't have issues with the Igbo. Àwọn kan ní because of the 1966 coup Igbo ló dá wàhálà sílẹ̀. I asked them the question, tó bá jẹ́ pé Britain ò kó wa papọ̀ ní 1914 there will not be any 1966 coup. Let us think now. The first question we should to lock down or to knock off all this problem and discuss. Àwọn kan ní pé Adéyínká grandson àwọn ò like ẹ̀. Mo ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ni torí pé ó ń support Tinubu but kò mí pé terrorist ni because British government gangan ni terrorist. A lè má agree pẹ̀lú Adéyínká grandson pẹ̀lú àwọn ẹ̀mẹ̀wẹ̀ torí pé oríṣiríṣi nǹkan ló ń sọ against wa but I will not sit here and say that ó láti lọ sentence ẹ̀ àbí ó láti lọ ṣe nǹkan fún. And that goes with anybody that the injustice o lè má agree pẹ̀lú view Sowore nítorí pé ó ń sọ pé revolution but we must make sure we support him. And that goes to EX-KANO. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ ní problem pẹ̀lú àwọn ọmọ Igbo and that is the reason why you are having headache. Ẹ kàn máa para yín dànù ni because you don't have to worry yourself. When we eventually get to our final destination, we will deal with anybody that doesn't want to live in our country the way we want it. A máa lè kúrò ni. Ẹ bọ̀ pé tẹ máa sọ pé yẹn Igbo ló gbalẹ̀ wa, ta ló talẹ̀ fún wọn? Ṣèbẹ́yìn lẹ́ ń ta fún wọn. Ṣèbí jẹkújẹ tẹ́ ń jẹ yẹn ọmọ Yorùbá, òun náà lẹ fi talẹ̀ fáwọn ọmọ Igbo. Ẹ wá sọ pé Igbo kọ́lé sí gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, àwọn ló ń dominate, àwọn ló ń gbé fake ogun wọlé. Tí Nàìjíríà bá dání ṣó yẹ kí wọ́n máa gbé fake ogun wọlé. Ṣèbẹ́yìn náà ń ṣe ritual killing. Mo tẹ̀ tó rí fídíò kan tọ́mọ kan gẹ́ẹ̀lì kan tó ń fọ̀gbẹ́ sára yàn kan. Ṣé ti rí fídíò yẹn? Nǹkan ti bàjẹ́ ju bó ṣe yẹ lọ. I don't know whether you've seen the video. Very disgusting video. Wọ́n ló fi ṣe money ritual. Ó wá ń fọ̀gbẹ́ síra wọn lára, ó wá fi ń yí rẹ̀ lára. Níbi táyé dé, níbi tó yẹ pé you can make money if everything is working legitimately. And we don't need a lot of money in this world. People think that we need billions and millions of naira or dollars or pounds before you have àlàáfíà or before you continue to say I'm a person. So when people talk about the Igbo, that they are the cause of our problem, they created the 1966 coup that gave everybody that, what the argument is always that Igbo ló dá wàhálà 1966 sílẹ̀ tí a fi lose regional government. And I asked the question, if British did not put us together by this nasty country called Britain, working on behalf of Britain was Lugard, why should we even have the 1966 coup in the first place? Ẹ̀yin náà rí ìyá mi Eunice Ladipo kò ṣeé wò bọ̀ mo láti wo fídíò yẹn ìbànújẹ́ ni. So when people say, the Igbo, we should not, Igbo fẹ́ dá dúró, bàbá dẹ̀ náà wọ́n dá dúró problem tí wọ́n nìyẹn. Igbo cannot stop us from becoming a Yoruba nation on our own. So let us always get that fact right. I understand some of you are so pained that the Igbo in the past have done certain things, but the question is, who put us together in 1914 that kept us into the 1960 fraudulent independence? Because that independence was also fraudulent. Baba Awolowo ló win election in 1959. But the British government decided to give it to the northern part of Nigeria. Ẹ má bínú pé mo tún ẹmọ pé tí wọn bá dé láàárọ̀ bí spirit yẹn bá ṣe fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ sí ó tún kúrò lọ́rọ̀ ISIS. So I always want to put that on record. I don't have any problem with the Igbo. If you have problem with them, deal with that with your family and your people. So when people talk about àwọn Igbo, àwọn ni enemy Yorùbá, ìyá kan wà lórí Facebook gbogbo ìgbà ló máa ń comment lórí ẹ̀ but kò ní ever sọ fún yín pé the 1914 ló put gbogbo wa together. Àwọn onísọ yẹn èyí tó dùn bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́mọ máa sọ hey the 1966 coup, don't ever trust the Igbo people because the Igbo kept us away from the regional government. And I asked the question, who put us together in 1914 for me to be part of the Igbo country, for me to be part of the Hausa country? We should have been independent if there was nothing called 1914 amalgamation. Ìyẹn ló yẹ kó kọ́kọ́ máa jẹ́ orí brain wa, but nítorí pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá kò yé yín. Yes, it's the same Fulani, it's the same Britain that is giving the Fulanis idea to keep one Nigeria. So ẹ má jẹ́ kí ọ̀rọ̀ Igbo wọ́n bá wà ní Ondo State, wọ́n bá wà ní Kwara State, wọ́n bá wà ní Kogi, kó wà lọ́yọ̀ọ́. There's good in living together in harmony. And let me say this part. Sórí àwọn tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ tó máa ní àwọn Igbo, àwọn like àwọn ọmọ Igbo. I don't think you can live in Britain. Let me say this clearly. I just pity some of you the way you talk. It is called lack of help me ìyá mi tẹ́ ń gbọ́n mi ṣé ignorance la máa pè. I live in a society here where I don't have to agree with everything the British people are doing. You think we agree with everything they are doing in this country? Gay wà nílùú yìí wọ́n bí bàbá tó bí bàbá ẹ̀ dá kó sọ pé you gay kó tó wá sọ ẹ̀ fún o máa ṣe wọ́n ni. Doesn't mean I agree with people that are in that kind of situation, but I live in this country. Oh, mọ̀ pé Mùsùlùmí pọ̀ tó ń gbé nílùú yìí, wọ́n ń gbé pẹ̀lú gay, wọ́n ń gbé pẹ̀lú lesbian. Mo tẹ̀ rí àwọn Muslim woman kan fa sìgá. Mo ní tó bá jẹ́ pé Nàìjíríà ni, àti máa sọ pé ẹ ṣé gan ni ìyá mi Pastor Momo. Ìgbàkígbà tí bá jí mo sọ fún yín, iṣẹ́ ń lọ ní non-stop lọ́rọ̀ Yorùbá Nation. Gbogbo ara la fi ń ṣe. Mo rí Muslim woman tó ń fa sìgá. Mo tó bá jẹ́ pé Nàìjíríà ni wọ́n ti pè láṣẹ̀tánì. Ẹ̀yin gangan láṣẹ̀tánì, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà nílé. Ignorance ti pọ̀jù nílé. People live here in harmony. I live side by side that people that does not believe in anything, they are called atheists. Òfin pé torí wọ́n kírun, you are better off than the atheists. Òfin pé torí pé wọ́n jẹ́ Christian, you are better off than the atheists. I don't agree with it, but don't ever point the finger. Ẹ fi gbogbo ẹlẹ́sọ̀wọ́ Elédùmarè. Somebody say I am Yoruba, I am married to Igbo. Hey, mo fẹ́ ka comment yẹn, okay, ó ti sá lọ ń bọ̀. Ó máa wá sórí fóònù mi. People will live harmony piece by piece. Igbo tá bá fi pé kò láti wà nínú ìlú wa, a fún opportunity kò túbá, tó bá ti túbá, á gbọ̀nà ìlú ẹ̀ máa lọ. Yeah, religiosity has destroyed the land. We don't have any issues. OBJ is protecting his oil well. Kó má kú mọ́. Èmi add the 100 years more age OBJ. In another 20 years, kódà tó bá travel lọ sí anywhere, wọ́n máa sọ pé bàbá ṣe é fẹ́ para yín ni. Èmi fún ní 20 years from now, èmi ò ní gbàdúrà pé kó kú. Gbogbo wọn ni Yorùbá Nation máa ṣe lójú ẹ̀. Ṣé má gbàdúrà pé kó kú? Ànídàá láti gbàdúrà pé kíyàn kankan ní wọ́n kú mọ́ nísìn. Ẹ jẹ́ ká fi wọ́n sílẹ̀. Gbogbo wọn pátápátá ló máa witness ẹ̀. Kó gbé oil well yẹn kó gbé lọ sọ́run tó bá kú. Ọ̀rọ̀ oil well tẹ́ sọ yẹn, ó ní fídíò kan tí máa play bẹ́ẹ̀ láàárọ̀ ẹ̀. Some of the people that say mo rí yín bẹ̀ ya bàbá wa Simon Adébísí, mo rí yín bẹ̀ David, mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ti America, mo kí ti UK, mo kí ti all over the world. Ẹlòmíì tó ń gbé ní Nigeria and you want to come and live in UK. I don't think you can live here. You know why? Because you become a nuisance. Ò ní lè cope. Ìyẹn ló ṣe ń sọ pé ìlú òyìnbó máa ń retrain ẹni tó bá fẹ́ retrain ara ẹ̀. This is a country that ní láti lọ sí school before you get retrained. But àwa làwa rò pé a lẹ̀sìn. Ibo ló máa fi àwọn Buddhism sí, àwọn Hindu, àwọn Chinese, àwọn all over the different religion. Ibo ló ó fi pé ẹ̀sìn tí ẹnìkan ló máa gbé wa wọ ọ̀run ni. Ìwọ ti dé bẹ̀rẹ̀ tó ti padà. Ṣé ìwọ ti dé ọ̀run rí? Mo rí ń bẹ̀ bàbá wa dé Ọ̀ṣun Timothy ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò. Àwọn gbé religion wá fún wa. They are living a better life. Wo religion yẹn náà tó ṣe wo jàǹbá tó ti ṣe fún gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá àti ilẹ̀ Igbo àti ilẹ̀ Haúsá. ISIS wọlé, ISIS máa wá dictate bí mi ṣe fẹ́ gbé ilé ayé mi as ọmọ Yorùbá. It's because of this. But rather than the people that should be telling you the truth, àwọn máa gé yẹn kúrò. They will always start their conversation from 1966. We had a good regional government. It was a fake regional government in the first place as well, because Baba Awolowo won that election square feet. Ó ná wọ́n pa ni. But wọ́n ní sọ yẹn. Wọ́n ní àwọn ọmọ Igbo ọ̀dàlẹ̀ ni wọ́n. Àwọn Yorùbá kan wá ń support ọmọ Igbo nísìn. Wọ́n ní àwa báwo ni wọ́n ṣe máa ń pè wá, àwa ni liberal, àwọn ni conservative. Ṣebí kan Tádéyínká grandson máa ń sọ nìyẹn. I don't agree that the British government wants to sentence him or do whatever they want to do with him. I don't agree with that, because the whole idea tó náà fi dé ìlú yìí òun ni pé because the British ló kó gbogbo wa sí problem. Tí British ò bá kó wa sí problem ni, him Adéyínká grandson will never be in this country in the first place, neither any one of us. Ẹni tó bá fẹ́ wá sí bíbá will be at their own free will. When my mother used to come here, máa ń bi wọ́n pé kí ló dé tẹ́ bí wá síbí wọ́n nígbà tẹ́ pé ìlú wa wà okay nígbà yẹn náà. Àṣé kò tẹ́ wà okay, àṣírọ́ ni gbogbo wọn pa. Everybody thought Nigeria was okay in the past until everybody started realizing that it was a shit hole country. Let's watch this video. mo kí gbogbo apẹ́ ẹ káàárọ̀. I do not own the copyright because I know YouTube. Ted ló ní video yẹn. So just for the education purpose is why we are using the video this morning. Ẹlòmíì ti lè wórí, èmi náà wórí, but ẹlòmíì ò lè má ti wórí, but ẹni tó bá ti wà lórí Facebook page. Then ẹ jẹ́ kí n tún sọ nǹkan kan ẹ̀yin tí ẹ kí n lọ sórí page wa. Tẹ máa wá lọ máa gbọ́ different blog lórí YouTube. Ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tó fẹ́ wá confirm pẹ̀lú mi pé ṣé báyìí ni. Whatever we put on our page has cleared a lot of issues, but people don't follow that page. You don't follow Twitter, you don't follow Instagram, you don't follow our official Facebook page. But you are more than easy to go on different page. Tí kò ní sọ títọ́ fún yín. And I don't have any, there's nothing I can do to that. Mo ń bọ̀ mo fẹ́ mú fídíò yẹn jáde ni. Mo kí gbogbo alẹ́ nǹkan sí. Let's watch this together.
So, here we are in the heart of London, a world capital. And there's a lot that's very good about that. Let's think, it's a cultural powerhouse, it's an all-night party venue. Realistically, I don't get to see much of those two at the moment because I have a 2-year-old, but I understand that other people are enjoying them. And of course, it's the economic heart of Britain. Think of all those...
Nítorí pé mi kọ́ mo ní fídíò yẹn, màá máa sọ̀rọ̀ láàrin ẹ̀ ntí YouTube fẹ́ nìyẹn wọ́n ní kí wọ́n máa lo fídíò ní fídíò. But tó bá ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ láàrin ẹ̀, that means pé òun ṣe analysis fídíò yẹn nìyẹn. So tí bá ti ń pọ̀sẹ̀ á fi jẹ́ pé torí pé mo ò fẹ́ yẹ kí fídíò yẹn kọ́ máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ gbúrúgbú kí n má sọ̀rọ̀ láàrin ẹ̀. Arábìnrin tẹ fẹ́ rí journalist bíi tèmi náà ni. Àwọn journalist tó máa wà nínú ọ́fíìsì kọ́ type kọ́ ṣe kọ́ report. But nǹkan kan gbé lọ sí ìlú kan tó ń pè ní Sierra Leone. Nígbà tó dé Sierra Leone ló wá wonder pé ìlú tó ní resources tó pọ̀ tó yìí ìyà ṣe lè máa jẹ wọ́n bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ṣe ní resources. Imagine bá ṣe ní resources tó nílùú tó ń pè ní Nàìjíríà but ìyà ń jẹ wá because àwa kọ́ la wà in control of that resources. In tó gbede tó fi pera wọn ní Witness Global. I hope I put it right. A sì máa lọ sí orí website wọn láìpẹ́. They are called Global Witness. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá ń follow àwọn investigation táwọn nǹkan máa ń ṣe nípa àwọn ìlú tó ní resources iṣẹ́ tó wá ń ṣe nísìnyí yẹn ẹ sunkún ẹlòmíì ò tẹ̀ mọ́ purpose ẹlòmíì kan ìwọ wà more concern about àwọn ọmọ Ìgbò ọ̀dẹ̀ ó mọ tí ọmọ Yorùbá àtàwùsà àtàwọn ọmọ Ìgbò yẹn tó ti pín kúrò nínú ìlú nípa ọ̀rọ̀ crude oil Nàìjíríà. We are in a big shit. Ó mọ bí ìgbẹ́ náà ń pè ní shit. Ìgbẹ́ mi dẹ̀ máa ń da ìgbẹ́ mi ọ̀fọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ni. Bọ̀ má lọ wo tàwọn ọmọ kan tó ń yàgbẹ́ síra wọn tó fi ń parẹ́ lára tó lọ́nà pé lówó. Ṣé bí wọ́n ṣe ń lówó nìyẹn? Ṣé bí àwọn tó wà nílùú òyìnbó ṣé yọ̀ wà nílùú òyìnbó ṣá tó máa yàgbẹ́ síyàn lára tá máa ṣé àwọn èèyàn máa ń ṣe I know they do ritual in UK abroad all over the world but ṣé yàn máa yàgbẹ́ síyàn lára máa fi ra rẹ̀ lára tó ló fi lówó. Messed up country. So ẹ̀yin tẹ máa ń bá wọn ẹ má bá wọn ever sọ pé àwọn ọmọ Ìgbò yẹn ẹ fi wọ́n sílẹ̀ nígbà tá a bá gbà ló wa tán constitution tá a bá mú kalẹ̀ èyí tó bá bí dánú ẹ̀ kó listen sí constitution yẹn èyí tó bá listen á máa gbá dànù ni. Ó mọ̀ pé wọ́n máa ń deport èèyàn nílùú yìí ni ṣé ìdájọ́ tí wọ́n ti ń gbọ́ táwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ̀ kan máa ń sọ pé ọmọ ẹ̀gbọ́n tó lọ yẹn UK ló ń gbé tẹ́lẹ̀ o kí ló wá ṣe wọ́n deport ẹ̀ wálé ni. Ǹjẹ́ mọ̀dí tó ṣe deport ẹ̀ ìmí ò gbọ́ràn ni àìgbọ́ràn ẹlòmíì wọ́n máa ń deport èèyàn ó mọ̀ kán máa ń deport èèyàn wọ́n ń deport èèyàn láti Amẹ́ríkà ìwọ ṣé o fi sọ fún mi pé láti ìjọ́ tó ti dáyé ìwọ tó ń wò mí nísìn o gbọ́ pé wọ́n deport èèyàn láti abroad so ṣe wá jẹ́ pé àwọn ọmọ Ìgbò ló ń focus ó lè torí pé àwọn ọmọ Ìgbò ń ṣe dáadáa àwọn náà ní tiwọn lọ́wọ́ bí wọn náà ṣe ní tiẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ but ìtà tó wà níwájú wa nísìn ni pé a fẹ́ gba ìlú wa tàbádẹ́ gbà ìlú wa a máa fọ́ mọ́. It was President Saka Steve of Sierra Leone ẹ̀gbọ́n mi tuntun ti jí pẹ̀lú mi láàárọ̀ ẹ̀yin náà sùn kí ni mo dá ọrùn mọ́ gbogbo lójú báyìí anyway ẹ jẹ́ ká máa gbọ́ fídíò ẹ lọ kó má pẹ́ jù torí àwọn tó wà nílé data ó máa ń jó ni.
Talented people flocking to London every year looking for work. Some of them head up the road to Soho trying to get into the creative industries. Some of them head over to Old Street trying to get into tech. Some of them hang around here trying to get into politics. And there are plenty who want to follow the money into law and property and finance. But there's a side to London that's less talked about, and it's the role that this city plays in fueling corruption in some of the poorest countries in the world.
Ẹ máa gbọ́ má sọ fún mi pé ògbóyìnbó tó ń sọ mo lè má bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣáyàn gbé fún ẹ. London tẹ̀yìn wò yìí oh my God, UK tẹ̀yìn wò yìí, England tẹ̀yìn wò yìí, bàbá 419 gidi ni wọ́n. Àwọn kan dẹ̀ àwọn ẹ̀gbọ́n kan wà tájọ́ ń tán ṣe program wa ní ẹ bá dárúkọ àwọn British o ẹ má dárúkọ àwọn Britain o Koiki má dárúkọ Britain o. 419 country. But thank you, good morning my brother, shalom to you as well. The battery tó wà lẹ́yìn behind you fix to be here. Àwọn yẹn máa ń gbé queen lọ wọ́n ń gbé queen lọ sí court bọ̀bọ̀ tó ẹ̀ rí yẹn ìbọ̀bọ̀ tó sọ pé YouTube fix tó ṣẹ̀ kí wa láàárọ̀ ìlú tó ní shalom wọ́n ń pè ní onírúkọ kan kí lórúkọ lẹ máa ń pè náà tẹ bá dé court àwọn yẹn ó ń bá queen fa court case bọ̀bọ̀ yẹn àti àbúrò ẹ̀ àtẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ̀ UK government mọ̀ wọ́n bí ẹni mọ owó ni Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ ní jẹ́ kó rí yín pa. Tomi Adegbola, everyone should clean up their own space. Simple, that's it. Ẹ má bá Igbo fa wàhálà. Torí pé wọ́n make owó nínú city wa, and then ìwọ náà lọ make owó tiẹ̀ tá máa fi gba Yorùbá nation. London, ten way, corrupt money, ó kúnnú ẹ̀ rẹpẹtẹ. England, ten way, kí n má sọ pé London, kí calculate gbogbo ẹ̀ England, corrupt money. Ìdí tí a ṣe ń jẹ òun la fẹ́ wò láàárọ̀ yìí. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tún gbọ́ sí bí ṣe sọ mo ní láti máa break it down máa fún ní time but máa break it láàrin méjì if not YouTube kọ́ máa feel pé àkànlò fídíò ẹni.
And the role of some of our bankers, some of our lawyers.
Don't go. Some of our bankers, some of our lawyers. Ìbí bọ́ ṣe wà Nàìjíríà náà nìyẹn. Ẹ jẹ́ tún ìyàn kan pè mí lánàá ó ní Koiki bá ń sọ fún àwọn fans ẹ mọ̀ pé àwọn fans èmi máa ń nínú àwọn family mi ní gbogbo yín. Òfin ọ̀kan tó ń jẹ́ fans family mi. Ẹ lè má bí mi lóòótọ́ lọ́mọ but èmi àti yín ti di ẹ̀gbọ́n àtàbúrò àwọn kan ti di ìyá mi àwọn kan ti di bàbá mi àwọn kan bí àwọn kú mi ti wà. Yes ṣẹgbọ́n ọkọ̀ tó sọ YouTube fix my brother Joshua ó ní we have another court case against her tomorrow 2 p.m. Àwọn àti Queen jọ ń lọ sí court gidi ni kò ń ṣe pé mò ń ṣeré bọ̀bọ̀ tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń rí tó comment yẹn èmi mọ orúkọ ẹ̀ you fix 2 yẹn I've seen him before. Ó ń gbé Queen lọ sí court, do you understand that? Ẹlòmíì ò mo sọ fún pé n ta gbé dání Elédùmarè ọba àjọkẹ́ ayé àṣàkẹ́ ọ̀run ó wà pẹ̀lú wa so kò ní láti máa bẹ̀rù kankan má sọ báyìí ẹ fi yẹn sílẹ̀ ẹ jẹ́ kí n sọ bí bá ṣe fi sọ mo sọ fún pé mi ò kí n ṣe wòlíì mo dẹ̀ ń ṣàfà mo dẹ̀ ń ṣe babaláwo mo believe mo dẹ̀ ní jókòó sí bíbà kí n máa tutọ́ sẹ́yìn kìrìsìtẹ́nì lára ẹ mọ̀ pẹ̀lú mi torí pà ń ṣe program a kọ̀ máa fọ opportunity ẹ mọ̀ pàwọ́ tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ a kọ̀ máa fọ opportunity máa làǹbá a máa pè wọ́n to caution ni pé ǹjẹ́ ẹ̀ ń sọ fáwọn ọmọ ìjọ yín pé 1914 ló dá wàhálà sílẹ̀ prayer mélòó la need in this world ó ṣe jáwa nìkan là ń ṣe so much prayer for ṣe àfi ṣẹ́gun kínní everybody bá wà comfortable. The Queen of England was crowned in 1952. She took over from her father, the late. Àwọn tó mọ history dáadáa nìyẹn ṣe gan. Ṣe gbọ́ wọ́n gbé lọ sí court again for the rape and pillage of our land. Ivory High Court. Wọ́n ṣeré.
And some of our property market in helping that to happen. London is headquarters to HSBC, which was recently fined nearly $2 billion by the US authorities for repeatedly accepting cash that had been laundered by Mexican drug cartels. During the time that HSBC was accepting this dirty cash, 35,000 people died at the hands of the drug gangs in Mexico.
While HSBC, one of the most high bank in UK, while they were receiving millions of pounds from cartel, àwọn drug lord láti Mexico, almost 35,000 people. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ṣe ń kú ní Nàìjíríà ikú ẹlẹ́yà ẹlòmíì tó bá kú nísìnyí wọ́n ní màmá ẹ̀ kan ló ń ṣe ọ̀nkọ́ ẹ̀ kan ló ń ṣe ẹ wo àwọn tó kú lánàá nìbàdàn 13 adúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ọmọ wa tó wà níbẹ̀ live tó report ẹ̀ fún wa live òun kàn ń lọ tiẹ̀ ní lókọ̀ ẹ mọ̀ pé sọ́ńtà èèyàn akọ̀ pàdé nǹkan kan bá dẹ̀ ń lọ Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kó pàdé nǹkan tó máa jẹ wọ́n àwọn tó kú náà kọ́lọ́run fọ́run kẹ́ wọn. 13 people were killed yesterday. ṣé àwọn Fúlàní náà nìyẹn? ó lè jẹ́ àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá, ó lè jẹ́ àwọn ọmọ Igbo, ó lè jẹ́ àwọn Hausa. Anybody could be behind the mask. ìbò dìgbà èmi èkúkú lo mask, ẹ̀mọ tó wà behind this camera. People don't even understand the situation that we are discussing. Tá a bá kúrò ní Nàìjíríà, ẹnu àtẹ̀ máa kúrò ní kí máa ní tá a bá kúrò tó igi máa tẹ̀ tó máa fẹ́ mímí sàn. A máa kúrò ní Nàìjíríà, a dẹ̀ ti kúrò. Ṣẹ́rí gbogbo intouching bá wa play. Ṣẹ́rí ẹjẹ́ ó máa dé stage kan. Stage yẹn máa kọjá ìgẹ́ta síbi. Bọ̀ máa kọ́ra fi síbẹ̀ torí àwọn ìyá mi kan ti bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ again pé Koiki àwọn like ẹ but má máa fi yẹn sílẹ̀. Pé ìmáa dé stage yẹn. Stage yẹn ìgbà tó fẹ́ kànnẹ̀kùn wọlé àfihàn sílẹ̀. Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ máa gbèjà wa. So ẹ farabalẹ̀, ẹ má worry. Báwo la ṣe fẹ́ jà? Ọlọ́run ló ní ìjà lọ́wọ́, kò ṣe mi. Kí ni mo fẹ́ fi bá gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì jà? Ṣé mo ní AK-49, AK-47 ni? Tí fẹ́ fi bá ìjọba jà? But èyí tí mo fẹ́ fi bá ìjọba jà òun ni mo ń ṣe analysis ojoojúmọ́. Kì í máa gbé nǹkan tó máa bà yín nínú jẹ́. Tẹ́yìn náà máa fi rán pé ní tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nílé Koiki gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì ní kúure. Àti gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì yìí àti ti pásítọ̀ àtọ́básanjọ́ àti Yar'Adua gbogbo wọn ní kúure. Gbogbo ẹnu mo fi sọ. Wọ́n ní kàn máa ń bọ́ àwọn àgbàlagbà. Àwọn àgbàlagbà tí bá fàgbàlagbà náà létí. Àgbàlagbà tó mọ̀ pé wọ́n bá ọmọdé sùn nílùú òyìnbó láwọn ìlú kan nítorí pé a ti fi ara wa sílẹ̀ káwọn ọmọ wa máa káàkiri. We are traveling all over the world. Àwa nìkan là ń káàkiri bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe oníwòlé mọ̀ just to survive. Ẹ jẹ́ ká padà sórí fídíò yìí.
London is also home to branches of NatWest, Royal Bank of Scotland, Barclays, UBS and HSBC again, which accepted millions of pounds from corrupt Nigerian state governors who were...
Ẹ wo báǹkì tó dárúkọ. Bébí bá dẹ̀ lọ sí báǹkì yẹn nísìnyí tí bá ní kó yá mi lówó, wá tún wò mí báyìí, wá náà wọ̀n ni. Whereas corrupt money wà lọ́wọ́ wọn, NatWest, gbogbo àwọn báǹkì yẹn 419 country. Ìyàtọ̀ tó kọ̀ wá bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé àwọn ń tọ́jú mẹ̀kúnnù, ń tọ́jú aláìní. Bí àyìnbó Ọlọ́run sì fi ń most MPs have investment in illicit drug organizations around the world. Kò yá wọn yan. Nigeria is a country of 15 nations. It is a multicultural country. China is a monocultural country. Ẹ ṣé gan ni bàbá wa Ọlátúnjí. Mo kí gbogbo ilé nǹkan sí ẹni tí ń bá dárúkọ ẹ̀ tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ ni mo fi ń kí Sammy Gregory, good morning. Mo kí bàbá wa Abel Ọlásùnbọ̀, ìyá wa Bọ́sẹ̀dé Adédípẹ̀. Báwọn ọmọ Yorùbá jà ọ́ nílé o, ẹ máa gbọ́ mi o, èmi àti ọmọ Yorùbá tó wà nílé mo ní problem pẹ̀lú wọn. Whether you are part of APC, mo láwọn brother mi tó ń ṣe APC lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́, confam, hardcore APC. Mo láwọn àǹtí wa kan tó wà ní UK, confam, kódà mo rí post wọn kan láàárọ̀ ẹ̀, lórí Facebook. Gbogbo ọlọ́mọ mi. But what we are saying is, it doesn't matter. Kódà kó gbé Tinubu márùn wá, Nigeria ò lè fix. Not because we hate Tinubu, but because we don't want to be part of Nigeria. It's as simple as that. We don't want to be part of Nigeria. Àwọn tó bá dẹ̀ hate Tinubu, ó tún nídìí tó ṣe hate ẹ̀. Àwọn sọ pé a fẹ́ dá dúró gẹ́gẹ́ bí orílẹ̀-èdè kan. Òun sọ pé ká tún lọ fún Nàìjíríà òṣì kan. Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù sọ pé ká lọ ṣe Nàìjíríà. Ẹ mọ̀ pé Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù ní opportunity ju gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ẹ̀ ń wò lọ ni. Ṣẹ́yìn ọmọ yẹn ni. Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù know he's not going anywhere. He's just playing the script. I've been planning this for 30 years. Kí ló ń plan? To become Nigerian president. Nigeria wá gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìlú ni. So Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù, as educated as he is, ẹ mọ̀ pé ó wà educated gan, he's highly educated. Kéèyàn ṣe Yorùbá, kó tún ṣe English. He's highly educated and he has traveled around the world. So why is he saying that he does not know that Nigeria is nations of nations? So tí Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù bá ń sọ fún yín pé Nigeria ló fẹ́ ṣe, òun fẹ́ ṣe president in Nigeria. He's just using that, to continue to have fame for himself. And for me, I've looked at that as a selfish person. Because Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù should be campaigning for a disintegration of Nigeria, not telling us about one Nigeria. Mo ní bẹ́ẹ̀ yá wa títí àrò, gbogbo ẹni tí bá dárúkọ gbogbo tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ ni mo kí n korúkọ yín. Bí mi dá níbi tí mo jókòó sí, kí n lárúkọ mọ́ yín lórí. So kò mí pé torí pé Tinubu àti Délé Momodu àbí whoever wants to come out. So àwọn tó ṣì wà tí mo mọ̀ nìyẹn nínú ti Yorùbá kò sí tó kàn mí pẹ̀lú àwọn Igbo àti Hausa because we are not together. Délé Momodu children doesn't live in Nigeria. They live abroad. Ìtò dẹ̀ máa ń lọ Nàìjíríà ìtò tó jẹ́ kan tó lómi lára náà àwọn ọmọ yẹn. Àwọn yẹn ti lọ́ opportunity now. So by Délé Momodu coming out now and telling Nigerians that he wants to be the president, knowing that Nigeria is not a country, ṣé Délé Momodu máa ní òun mọ̀ nípa 1914 amalgamation? Ibo ni ká fi yẹn sí? So if Chief Délé Momodu, mo tún pọ́nlé nìyẹn, mo pọ́nlé nì, he might be watching my program, mo mọ̀ dáadáa, kàn jẹ́ pé mo mọ̀ wọ́n. Does not mean that I disrespect him, but I'm disrespecting him now because he's still trying to take us to one Nigeria that we are trying to come out. Chief Délé Momodu does not know. That's selfish. He's being selfish. All he wants to do is, go on Instagram, take picture with all this, yes, that is good, If he has his network of friends and everybody can build those kind of relationship with people. But to not say because he wants to use that now to come and say, hey, my father died when I was 13. I didn't know my father. Years old. I lost my dad when I was 2.5 years old. Mo kàn gbọ́ orúkọ ẹ tó ṣe sílẹ̀ èmi náà dẹ̀ ti ń ṣe orúkọ sílẹ̀ nísìn orúkọ tèmi náà títí táyé máa fi parẹ́ náà máa dárúkọ Kóìkì ẹ lè wipe orúkọ mi kúrò nínú ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo bá ń fà ẹ máa rántí Kóìkì forever ni ẹ má jẹ́ ká tó gbọ́ fídíò yẹn díẹ̀ sí.
In the bribes that they've been accepting. London is also home to the High Court, which in a recent case involving a corrupt billion-dollar Nigerian oil deal decided that one of the middlemen was entitled to a 10% cut, without questioning whether the British court should be dividing up the proceeds of corruption in this way.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ nísìnyí màá wá play díẹ̀ sí màá tún dá padà sẹ́yìn màá wá jẹ́ kó rólẹ̀ ṣe rí ẹ̀ tẹ́ wà nílé tá a bá kúrò ní Nàìjíríà yẹn we will be in mess for a very long time. Ó dẹ̀ sì máa dé stage kan everything will be stand still gbogbo ẹni wọn fi sọ ó kàn máa dé stage kan kò ń ṣe pé Yorùbá nation ló fẹ́ ṣe Ọlọ́run ló máa arrest gbogbo wọn bó ṣe fẹ́ arrest wọn fìyẹn sílẹ̀ sọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Pé Délé Momodu kọ́ Délé Momodu ni ọmọ mi my father died when I was 13 bàbá tèmi gan kú ní when I was 2.5 years ìbí wọn tẹ̀ mọ́ bàbá tẹ̀ títí di 13 years old.
But there's a side to London that's less talked about, and it's the role that this city plays in fueling corruption in some of the poorest countries in the world, and the role of some of our bankers, some of our lawyers, and some of our property market in helping that to happen. London is headquarters to HSBC, which was recently fined nearly $2 billion by the US authorities for repeatedly accepting cash that had been laundered by Mexican drug cartels. During the time that HSBC was accepting this dirty cash, 35,000 people died at the hands of the drug gangs in Mexico. London is also home to branches of NatWest, Royal Bank of Scotland, Barclays, UBS and HSBC again, which accepted millions of pounds from corrupt Nigerian state governors who were paying in the bribes that they'd been accepting. London is also home to the High Court, which in a recent case involving a corrupt billion-dollar Nigerian oil deal decided that one of the middlemen was entitled to a 10% cut, without questioning whether the British court should be dividing up the proceeds of corruption in this way. And London is also home to a property market that's very popular with the roles corrupt. Now, most people think of corruption as something that happens somewhere else, it's over there, and it's nothing to do with us. But what I'm going to talk about is the role of some actors.
Ẹ jẹ́ pointers, ẹ jẹ́ pin ẹ̀ down síbẹ̀. Tí woman bá jẹ́ atheist, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ń gbọ́ mi láàárọ̀ yìí, obìnrin tẹ́ ń wò yìí, kò gba ẹ̀sìn kankan, mo kàn ń sọ ni o. Ṣé in tó ń ṣe nísìn àtẹni tó ń ṣe Kìrìsìtẹ́nì àti Mùsùlùmí kí lẹ máa fi judge wọn? Pé kó má jẹ́ tó believe in anything, pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ tó kọ̀ rọra sọ jáde yìí nísìn, ṣé pásítọ̀ yín lè sọ̀rọ̀ nǹkan tó sọ jáde yìí? Ṣé ìmáàmù yín lè sọ? Ṣé àwọn babaláwo lè sọ? Ìyẹn la ṣe máa ń ṣe rí ìyẹn làwa tá wà ní abroad tí Ọlọ́run ti fún wa ní opportunity pé làákàyè pé ká gbé méjì papọ̀ ṣé káwọn èèyàn lè jẹun búrẹ́dì ló kúnnú ilé oúnjẹ wà nú ilé àwọn ọmọ máa wà lọ́lídé látẹ̀ní nísìn àti stockpile oúnjẹ sílé torí wọ́n máa jẹun wọn ni wọ́n bá ti ń play game wọn but àwọn tó wà nílé they don't have the same opportunity àwọn kan wá náà fẹ́ ṣe president lé wa lórí we want to unite Nigeria. You cannot unite Nigeria. British government fáwọn lè unite Nigeria. ṣé Délé Momodu nísìnyí kò mọrú nǹkan báyìí ló ń lọ wọ́n mọ̀ ẹ fi pé gbogbo àwọn Ọ̀tẹ́dọ́lá yẹn bá 419 ní bàbá yẹn 419 ẹni gbogbo ẹni mo fi sọ Fẹ́mi Ọ̀tẹ́dọ́lá bàbá olè gidi bàbá ẹ̀gàn olè but ẹ̀yin nísìnyí ẹ wá nífẹ̀ẹ́ ọmọ ẹ̀ DJ Copy tó máa gbọ́yàn síta tá máa ṣe gbogbo ẹ̀ bí Nàìjíríà bá dání tó bá yẹ pé Nàìjíríà dání then ẹ̀yin náà máa ní the same opportunity ní same opportunity lẹ ṣe lọ ń lọ sórí péjì lẹ lọ ń ju ìwò lẹ́nu èmi náà máa ń lọ lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀ọ̀kan máa kọ́ lọ wò pé òkè kí ló tún sọ lẹ ṣe ń hélì ọmọ Tinubu lẹ ṣe ń hélì gbogbo àwọn ọmọ olówó yẹn yes Délé Momodu just want to be current and be with the power to be that's all ó lọ Edo State ó kágbádá wọn àtìyàwó ẹ̀ ṣèbí Délé Momodu ó mọ bọ̀bọ̀ tó ń tílé wó yẹn ṣé òun máa sọ pé nígbà tán lọ tán wọlé yẹn kọ nímọ̀ pé structure lè yá á pé bẹ́ẹ̀mi ṣe ń gbé labroad wọn kọ́ lé báyìí kó husband ẹ wọlé padà jẹ́ ká tún kọ́ o ilé yìí ò dá o ṣèbí ìyàwó ẹ lọ sí ilé building yẹn ṣé tó bá jẹ́ pé Délé Momodu wà ní London ìyàwó à lọ síbi tó ti ń kọ́lé tí kò ní lo helmet kò ní lo anything kò ní lo any safety Délé Momodu dẹ̀ rí fídíò yẹn ó dẹ̀ post ẹ̀ sórí page ẹ̀ ṣó lè ṣerú ẹ̀ ní UK ṣé Délé Momodu lè post fídíò kémi lọ sí building tó ń kọ́ sọ́tẹ̀ máa láàmì kí wọ́n nu building tó ń kọ́ ṣá nílùú yìí kí ló Kóìkì ọmọ tí yóò ní tó bá tẹ̀ máa wọnú building yẹn gan you go through the procedure you go through the these are people that are educated these are people that are meant to be well learned. So when people now look at Délé Momodu now and then you now ask yourself what is it trying to to talk about òun làwọn ṣe ovation and then so what àwọn làwọn gbé àwọn artists oríṣiríṣi àwọn làwọn promote wọn and then so what so ìyẹn ló máa fún wa ní unity in Nigeria you think the music will give us a unity in Nigeria there is no unity in Nigeria not because I don't have any issue with him I have his personal number but I don't communicate with him but he communicate through like somebody to me ọmọ mi dáadáa Analaji I don't have any issue with him I love him so much but I'm saying that at this junction ẹ̀gbọ́n ọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà kọ́ ló wà nílẹ̀ mòmí lẹ sọ pé máa tẹjú anybody mọ́lẹ̀ ni ní tí mo gbé dání kódà family mi gan máa tẹjú ẹ̀ mọ́lẹ̀ mo sọ fún yín sẹ́ àwọn family mi kankan wò mí wọ́n wò behind the scene ni wọ́n nílé comment I know that àwọn tó jẹ́ family mi tó ń tajọ́ ń jẹ́ Kóìkì wọ́n wo program mi bọ̀ wọ́n lè comment tọ́bádẹ̀ tó bẹ̀ kọ́ comment kí sọ pé ètò tán ni mo ń wò ẹ̀ kí ló fẹ́ ṣe fún mi èmi ò ní mo fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan fún wọn but some of them are as corrupt as Nigeria as well. má tẹ́jú anybody mọ́lẹ̀ ni mo sọ fún wọn àṣìṣe mẹ́rin bọ̀ lápò ni à ń sọ̀rọ̀ pé kí Yorùbá dá dúró ẹ̀yin sọ̀rọ̀ Nigeria who the hell is Nigeria Nigeria bá jẹ́gẹ́ bí ìlú ni Nigeria where all the corrupt money comes here and the British government sit on it and then they will now come back and say they are giving you aid. How did the money get here in the first place? I pity my Yoruba people as that woman they talk. It's coming up to 1 minute past 5 a.m. The Yoruba kingdom need the support of the 5 permanent members of the UN so that we can gain our freedom. Talk about money supporting if we do not get that support, oh yes, we will lobby. I love diplomacy. I'm not saying I won't sit here and say diplomacy does not work, but if they don't give it to us, Britain Mafuani support, maybe 1 or 2 of them, I don't know. Yeah, in every construction environment, you must comply with safety rules. But Délé Momodu lọ sórí building tó ń kọ́tọ̀ ìtí pariwo, hey, I'm with my people. Àwọn Italian tó wà yẹn náà, ṣé àwọn all lè ṣe yẹn lead wọn? But because Nigeria is a shithole country, everybody just do what they want. But because they look at báwọn ṣe dé sí area yẹn ní àwọn ìbò ló dé pẹ̀lú ìyàwó ọ̀gá nìyẹn ọ̀gá wo Délé Momodu ìyàwó Délé Momodu ni ó wá wọnú building lọ building tó ń kọ́ lọ́wọ́ right there and there ó yẹ kí Délé Momodu pull down video yẹn ni pé no we can't use this video ẹ lọ tún ṣe mí kẹ wá wọ PPE àbí ṣé PPE lẹ́ ń pè but people look at them as kílẹ̀ máa ń pè wọ́n socialite kọ́lọ̀ fọ́run kẹ́ ṣọkọ Bímbọ́ tó kú yẹn náà máa tó kú ní Ìbàdàn yẹn ṣèbínú golf club lọ́nà kú sí. Not even an emergency helicopter should pick him up there and take him to the nearest hospital so that they can revive him. People have cardiac arrest and they still survive it. Ṣé Bímbọ́ ṣì kan ni? Ẹ rántí Bímbọ́ ṣì. Ẹ wo àdúgbò tọkọ yẹn ń gbé nìbàdàn. Wọ́n kàn máa ń pèsè ilé àwọn ilé náà ló ń pè ní socialite ṣá. Wọ́n kàn ṣe kò bẹ̀m̀bẹ̀m̀bẹ̀m̀bẹ̀m̀. Wọ́n ló ṣe travel láti Èkó wá sí Ìbàdàn. Àwọn ò ní lọ by road so wọ́n ní face traffic. Èló ní 40,000 naira. These people have a lot of money. I think they said he died at the golf club. Kọ́lọ̀ fọ́run kẹ́ àwọn ẹni tó bá kú yàn yọ̀. Ẹ̀mí ṣe nǹkan tí mo sọ fún yẹn. But what I'm saying is if there was people die, but if there was an adequate emergency, tó bá jẹ́ pé ọkọ̀ Bímbọ́ ṣì yẹn ti ń complain pé UCH yóò gbádùn káwọn máa fi influence wọn kọ́ máa fi sọ̀rọ̀. He and Dele Momodu were still together under I think 48 hours before he died. Ṣé Bímbọ́ ṣì ní ọ̀pẹ̀yìn tẹ̀ ń wò mí náà? Tí dàkí lè confirm pé ọkọ̀ ẹ̀ tí mo sọ náà nìyẹn. Àbẹ́yìn ẹ̀ ń follow news àwọn Nàìjíríà yẹn lẹ́ǹkankan. Mo rí ibẹ̀ ìyá mi Dámilọ́lá T-Cash. Àwọn ìyá wa kankan wọ́n set up business America. Èmi ṣe hairdressing, èmi dá ṣọ́ọ̀pù sílẹ̀, èmi ilé olóúnjẹ ló dá sílẹ̀. And they're doing very well. And they cannot do the same thing in that nasty country called Nigeria. Ẹ mọ̀ fáwọn èèyàn ṣe business tó dá l'Amẹ́ríkà ni. But because àwọn wà on their own, they don't care about average Nigerians. Yeah, dúdú heritage. Tí bá ti sọ̀rọ̀ ẹ máa tètè dá mi náà jọ. Orí tí bá ti jí báyìí nísìn, orí yẹn máa ṣiṣẹ́ gbogbogbò ni. Dúdú heritage should have been making complaint about the nasty country called Ibadan and Oyo State. But they're not going to do the same thing. They're not going to do that. It's all about them and them and them. Ẹ wo ìgbà tó kú. Mo kàn wá nígbà tí BBC lọ síbẹ̀ BBC Yorùbá tó ń show environment yẹn. Mo ní ṣe environment yẹn náà ni bàbá yẹn gbé ṣá. Because àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ environment yẹn has nothing that is not bad. Mo ní bẹ̀ yàrá mo ní Sọlá Tèmiládé gbogbo yín ni mò ń kí. Dudu Heritage should have been making complaint to the Oyo State government, to the state government, to the federal government, but they don't care. Òun ṣe ni ló kú, ó kú ní last year, ó ti kú tí ó ṣe last year náà ló kú. Wọ́n ló wà ní golf club. Mo yà pé bí bọ́ọ̀ ṣe ni. Gbogbo wọn náà àtàwọn actress yẹn, àwọn kú tán máa sunkún ẹlẹ́lẹ́yà. Helicopter tẹ̀ kó yẹ pé bí bàbá yẹn kú ṣe ní attack yẹn nínú golf club from what I heard. Sometimes you don't know what is behind their death anyway. But Nigeria is a messed up country. Such too much things that you can. People die here and ronú pé ṣó tọwọ́ bọ̀ nǹkan kan ló fi kú ni. Nigeria nìyẹn máa kú ló tún máa ronú sí nǹkan míì. Let's go back to this video.
Right here in London, in helping some of it to happen. Now, I don't know about you, but this makes me feel rather sad and angry.
Ó ní òun ò mọ̀ ní ṣèbí mi nísìnyí bí iṣẹ́ sọ́nà nísìnyí àwọn kan máa ní wọ́n á get out Koiki. Ó jókòó sí London ó kàn tó ó fẹ́ máa san táwọn máa ṣe. Yeah, last year ló kú láti move on pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ Dudu Heritage yẹn mo kàn fi ṣe àpèjúwe ọ̀rọ̀ ni. Ẹ wo bèbí nísìn ó no make òun feel sad and unhappy pé ẹ̀yin tẹ ní resources. But àwọn kan wà lé nísìn all they are more concerned is how to keep that country called Nigeria. Ọ̀pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ kò ṣe bí n bọ́ ṣe ọ̀pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ gbogbo àwọn tó ń pera wọn ní socialite ọ̀la nísìn wọn tailor ti máa délé wọn ti máa pe tailor aṣọ tí mo gbé fún ẹ because wọn lọ party lọ́la nítorí Délé Momodu náà fi jẹ president issue president in Nigeria. Irú àwọn tó yẹ kó máa campaign pé let's disintegrate this country only I still want to keep Nigeria because n tó ń jẹ nínú ẹ̀ nínà bó ṣe ń jẹ pẹ̀lú Igbo ló ń jẹ pẹ̀lú Hausa ló ń jẹ pẹ̀lú gbogbo Ṣẹ̀kírí ló ń jẹ pẹ̀lú gbogbo wọn. Ntí Délé Momodu ń jẹ ni because what is there for him to come out and say this country amalgamated ṣé n táwọn sọ nísìnyí pé nígbà tó ti amalgamate wọn yẹn then we should keep it forever ṣé nǹkan táwọn náà ẹ bá ń béèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn ṣé nǹkan táwọn fẹ́ nìyẹn pé okay because we have been amalgamated in 1914 then ní right láti bring it back pé no àfi ṣé nǹkan táwọn sọ nìyẹn ni. Because I don't understand those that keep pushing this one Nigeria in our face. And push one Nigeria in our face for your own selfish interest. Àwọn tó dẹ̀ ní kankan nínú Nigeria yẹn náà, àwọn ọ̀dẹ̀, àwọn èèyàn, òun compare rẹ̀ sí àwọn Délé Momodu. Délé Momodu that can fly to any part of the globe. ìwọ lọ fẹ́ gba visa ní sí ṣe bóun náà ẹbí asylum lòun náà wá claim nílùú ìkọ́ fífún ní tó fi di pé òun náà ní passport ìbọn náà sá lọ nígbà Abacha ni tó fi pa the same way tí Buhari fi pa Chief Sunday Igboho fún wa nísìn ẹjọ́ yọ Lugard kúrò kó ojú ẹ̀ máa ń bí mi nínú nígbà míì ní gbé bá mi síbẹ̀ ṣìbọn náà sá lọ ni kó tó di pé ó dé láti bí abẹ́nẹ̀ wọ Ghana tó ṣáà to find out tó fi dé Britain ṣèbí Tinubu náà sá lọ ni gbogbo àwọn nàdẹ́kò ara ti wá dẹ̀ wọ́n nísìn àwọn sọ̀rọ̀ wọn Nàìjíríà kákè fún Nàìjíríà mo rí ń bẹ̀ bàbá wa Gani Dele Momodu is shying away from the truth so when you see people like that you gotta be very careful they're called the green snake under the green grass ẹ cut fídíò mi kẹ lọ́wọ́ fún wọn pé Koiki sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn ọmọ máa sọ pé òun kọ́ Yorùbá so nígbà tó wá kọ́ Yorùbá nísìn so kò mọ̀ pé Yorùbá yẹn ìlú kan ni Dele Momodu as experienced as he is doesn't know that is a Yoruba is a nation of his own and he's telling us to keep one Nigeria nígbà tó yẹ pé àwọn náà gbogbo wọn mọ̀ nípa all these shenanigans that we are just watching right now.
There's so much that's good about it, but this all makes me feel rather ashamed.
I
work for Global Witness, a campaigning organisation that investigates the deep links between natural resources, conflict, corruption and environmental devastation.
Environmental devastation yẹn ló fi pa Kensaro Wiwa. Tabata pa o hange wọ́n pa Kensaro Wiwa ní 1996. Environmentalist tó sọ ẹ̀ environmental. Ẹ lọ sí gbogbo ibi tí wọ́n ti ń gbọ́n epo. Àwọn tó tẹ̀ ń gbọ́n epo lọ́dọ̀ wọn gan-an, àwọn tẹ̀rẹ̀ fáwọn yẹn tẹ̀ rí benefit of epo yẹn rí. Imagine a state that has natural resources and the people are not benefiting out of it. Ayomi Kundaniju, my brother. I just gbadun this your face anytime I see the face. Olawoye Kende says, Julius, greed has made them. ISIS but I just wanted to touch this. We might still go into it. It's just 10 past. Ẹ̀yin náà lè pè o ẹ̀wọ̀n kìtìbá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ program báyìí tó bá ń ṣe anytime lè lè dá sí if you feel like you wanna say something or sometimes people àwọn kan náà fi sọ nǹkan kan tó ẹ̀ǹtẹ̀ bá ń wá nọ́mbà mi òun ló ń scroll lókè yẹn +44 and continue to support Koiki Media ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ rí yẹn àní má máa sọ tó bá ẹni tó bá ń bínú fún yẹn problem tiẹ̀ nìyẹn máa ń sọ o mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé kò yẹ ká máa bínú kò jẹ́ kí tẹ̀ máa sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ but I still know that tí bá ti sọ̀rọ̀ pé kó support Koiki ìyẹn lẹ máa dì mú gbogbo tí mo ti ń sọ látàárọ̀ nísìn ẹ̀sùn kankan sí yẹn o mo kàn ń ṣeré ni Mr. Koiki, that ICC is very important. What ICC? Ṣé International Criminal Court àwọn tó máa lọ sẹ́wọ̀n pọ̀ ó kàn jẹ́ pé gbogbo process yẹn máa ń pẹ́ ni. You see a 200 level A student ended in Sokawe Moka. Osibajo would rather visit a family hit by question mark. Tajudeen Idris Moriyimbe bàbá wa. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin alájà. Ìlú yẹn wọ́n ti mẹ̀jẹ̀ wa ti pẹ́. Ìyẹn là ṣe gbádùn mo fẹ́ kẹ́ pè náà ni fẹ́ kó wà interactive kó má jẹ́ pé mi nìkan. Ẹ má bínú ẹ jẹ́ ń yọkú mo ti wà pé ó ṣe wà airpod mi wà on ẹ jẹ́ ń gbé sí speaker. Ẹ káàárọ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi ẹ kúrò rẹ̀ lọ́dọ̀ yín lọ́hùn ẹ̀yin náà ẹ ti ń lọ sọ́wọ́ òru.
You are so consistent. I think it's high time we start supporting. Nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ ká máa lọ́ra díẹ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀ pé àti fall victim of our.
I can understand. I know.
But you are so consistent. And you speak my heart. You speak my heart. And God bless you.
Amen.
God bless you.
I appreciate. I love that as well.
Very soon,
No problem. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ẹ̀ṣẹ̀gọ́ni ọ̀nkó mi tó pè tán. Ẹ̀yin náà láǹfààní àti pè tẹ́ bá ń wá nọ́mbà mi lẹ́ni time. Tẹ́ bá sọ pé ẹ̀ mọ̀ nọ́mbà mi níbi tá a dé ẹ̀yẹ kẹ́ ti save nọ́mbà mi nọ́mbà yẹn náà ló scroll lókè nínú green bar yẹn òun dẹ̀ ló tún wà lókè yẹn tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú +44 èyí tẹ́ bá ń pè láti abroad ẹ láti fi +44 yẹn sí kò sí message tí mo kí ń dáhùn kò sẹ́ni tó pè mí tí mo ní return call ẹ̀ tí ìbá tètè return ẹ̀ máa still return ẹ̀ ní any problem pẹ̀lú gbogbo wọn but èmi ń pè wọ́n padà ni maybe bàbá wa Délé Mọ̀mọ́dù bí wọ́n ti gbàgbé. Let's just go back. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà lẹ́nu iṣẹ́ from all over the world. Mo dẹ̀ kẹ́yìn tẹ́ wà nílé náà ó wù yín kẹ́ lọ síbi iṣẹ́ but iṣẹ́ ò lè fi lọ. Kò síṣẹ́. Imagine kí gbogbo àwọn socialite wa kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí pariwo nísìn pé Nigeria is not bí a nísìn tí epo tẹ̀ tún ṣe kinní díẹ̀ nísìn bí a máa fẹ́ anyway àwọn kọ́níwé táwọn máa fi ń survive gbogbo kinní yẹn average Nigerians don máa jìyẹ 13 people were killed in Ibadan yesterday very painful death ẹ mọ̀ pé kò sí ẹni emergency kinní kankan níbẹ̀ yẹn tó fi ṣẹlẹ̀ tó fi tán.
Half our time as investigative journalists, unpicking the dirty deals and following the money to those responsible. Then we use our findings to campaign for change. My colleague Charmian Gooch, one of our co-founders, won this year's TED Prize. TED wanted to recognise our campaign that's calling for an end to the globally accepted practice of allowing companies to incorporate whilst keeping their real owners hidden.
They've always done so. Kò ń ṣe Nigeria nìkan, but Nigeria ni èyí tí mo fi focus lé. They've always kept the details of company. Ò ní ever mọ àwọn wo ló wà behind it. Ẹ lọ follow David Odoyin. Some of the expose tó ń jáde lẹ́nu ọjọ́ mẹ́ta lórí platform lórí Twitter. We will be shocked. So what we are saying is just to buttress the conversation. Crisis in I'll continue lọ́sàn if we can continue it's still something I'll discuss. Adema sọ̀rọ̀ lè náà lórí because ilẹ̀ ṣe money. What we are saying is we love you at home. I don't hate any one of you. And there's no reason for me to hate anybody. Yeah, we can call people to question. We can, that's just normal banter and all that. I don't hate, Dele Momodu. Ẹ̀gbọ́n ló jẹ́ sí mi. And I'll continue to respect him. But what I'm saying is, why does it tell us that we should go into one Nigeria at this stage? Níbi tí ayé ti lajú dé. Ayé ti lajú ju pé kíyàn kan ṣe ti máa push wa pé ká gbé yẹ̀wò. Kí la fẹ́ gbé yẹ̀wò? Ẹ jẹ́ kí ìlú 15 jáde kúrò ní Nàìjíríà. Ká wá lọ máa develop ara wa. Ká wá lọ pẹ̀lú ẹ̀gbọ́n tó pè mí tán nísìnyí kí wọ́n ní ẹ̀gbọ́n mi iṣẹ́ ò lẹ́yìn ṣe. Ṣé ẹ lọ support wọn bí ẹ lọ fún wọn ní expertise yìí ní nation yẹn because ìtẹ̀fi wà l'Amẹ́ríkà yẹn ẹ ṣe wá lọ support. People will go and support other nations that comes out of Nigeria for development. Ẹ mọ̀ pé bá ṣe wà níta à ń develop ìlú tá wà ní. We are working very hard to develop. Anytime women, we don't have any issues with anybody. No, wallahi. And any problem pẹ̀lú anybody ní Nàìjíríà pé nítorí pé òun ṣe PDP and APC. But nítorí pé kò yé yín dáadáa lẹ́yìn ṣe ń pè pé PDP and APC òun lọ the best option. Notice, there's an authority against 15th of February. They have warned bank and everybody not to open the shop or moving around on the 15th of this month. Please, Brother Koiki, announce it to everybody to pray against it. Níbo nìyẹn o? Ṣé ọba kan tán ló kú? Ṣé ẹ̀ lẹ́ ń sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí? Kí n lè get message yẹn dáadáa. Ẹni tó bá fẹ́ pè náà line yẹn open on. You can call in at any time and I'll allow you to come through. Ṣé ọba kan tó kú tán náà fẹ́ gbé orò àbí nǹkan kan lẹ́ ń sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí? And I think that is about it anyway because I saw that as well. Ẹ kàn sọ pé yes, òun náà ni. I don't speak Hausa, but I don't have problem with the people in the north. We don't have problem with you. Don't think the Yoruba people have problem with you. But we don't want to be part of a country that dictates how we, the Yorubas, will live our own life. Let the Hausa people have their own nation. Let everybody have their own nation. And then we can be able to monitor if a company is set up. I want to know who and who is, especially when it's a public company. Public. ẹ̀wọ̀n Koiki Media nísìn private ni ẹ jẹ́ n ṣàlàyé fún yín bí company ṣe ń work company mi péjọ tí bá ti gbé company mi lọ sórí stock market 13 ra shares nínú ẹ̀ kò ń ṣe private mọ́ kò ń ṣe èmi ni mo ní for now èmi ni mo ní decision tí bá make èmi àtàwọn team mi ni I lè má get it right but ìjọ tá bá ti lọ sórí stock market pé mo gbé Koiki lọ sórí stock market there's an authority against 15 of February they have warned bank and everybody not to open the shop okay fún táwọn tí ọba tó pín àti mọ̀ yẹn tẹ́lẹ̀ ibi culture wa nìyẹn tó bá fẹ́ ṣòro kéèyàn jókòó sílé àwọn ti kéde nìyẹn bọ̀tẹ́ lómìn ṣì ń sọ pé gbogbo kinní yẹn Jésù ò ní jẹ́ kó ṣiṣẹ́ má bá wọn sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ ó rò ní ló ń jẹ́ pé Jésù ò ní jẹ́ kó ṣiṣẹ́ ìyẹn ò ní kankan pẹ̀lú Jésù àtànábì ìṣẹ̀ṣe tiwa nìyẹn má lọ bá wọn dán ìdọ́kúdọ̀ gbogbo àwọn fíìmù tó ti fi parọ́ fún wa pé kinní kan ẹ má ká kọ̀ǹdẹ́mù ara wa olúkálukú máa ṣe tiẹ̀ ẹlẹ́sìn máa ṣe tiẹ̀ bọ̀tí ń tà ń sọ ni pé ìyà tó ń jẹ wá la fẹ́ kúrò nínú ẹ̀ kò ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú ẹ̀sìn ìjà tá à ń jà kò ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú religion so màá kàn play video yẹn kékeré díẹ̀ sí ni àwa kúrò nínú yẹn then I'll also know the next broadcast of the conversation.
This is something that allows all manner of corrupt deals, tax evading deals, drug.
Màá dẹ̀ fún yín ní link ibi tẹ́tí lè wo fídíò ó wà lórí YouTube. Màá dẹ̀ sọ orúkọ a máa lọ sórí page wọn náà nísìn. It's called Global Witness. Ẹ̀ka asun yín. Wọ́n ti mo rí ibẹ̀ yàwá ọmọ yeah it's our culture and tradition. Hausa ní culture tiẹ̀, Igbo ní culture tiwọn. Gbogbo àwọn tó bá fẹ́ jáde nínú Nàìjíríà kò ní láti di gbàásgbò ní láti bára wa jà ká tó kúrò ní Nàìjíríà náà but àwọn fẹ́ keep Nàìjíríà kí senator máa jókòó lórí fat money House of Rep máa jókòó lórí fat money living very comfortable mo rí bẹ́ẹ̀ richie ẹ ṣáà tó fún wa ní Koiki ṣáà gba $5 mo ṣe gan ni thank you very much I really appreciate the super chat it helps us to keep going you know I think somebody sent us 50,000 naira yesterday under 3 minutes gbogbo 50,000 ti tán ti distributed ní ọba kékèké it helps you know especially irú ọmọ wa tó ṣe tó lọ ṣe amazing video lánàá I had to send them some money to go and pick up some 1 or 2 things because his safety is also a very important thing to me. I can contribute a minute but I always tell them their safety is the first priority to me and I'll continue to emphasize that. Because Nigeria is a messed up country. Pastor Momo sọ pé Koiki Bodele Momodu told us Nigerian presidency is based on selection. Ẹbí àwọn fẹ́ select òun nísìn. He said so. Dele Momodu said so on Arise television with his mouth. Pé òun lọ sí Vienna. I spent my money. I was 32 years old. Nobody paid me. And we appreciate that. But now he's coming back and say 30 years I am ready. Ready for what? Ṣé under this constitution ló ready ni? Àbí what? Àwọn èèyàn ní Koiki ṣe Dele Momodu ló mú láàárọ̀ yìí. Àyẹ̀ntí spirit mi sọ nìyẹn. Àbí kí ni mo fẹ́ ṣe sí? Like I said, I have his details there. If I send message, you only reply gossip anyway. Ẹ̀gbọ́n. Wọ́n yẹ pé mò ń bá wọn jà. Bọ̀ pé ká máa sọ pé don't ask me for his number. Pé àwọn nọ́mbà bẹ́ẹ̀ kò ń ṣe nọ́mbà tí and I've had a number before. Jẹ́ kí n clear léyìí o. Jẹ́ lè mí pé Koiki wo ló tún ní nọ́mbà Dele Momodu. Ẹ lọ wo Ovation 2017 2018 ẹ̀rí footprint ẹ mọ̀ nǹkan tó ń pè ní footprint ẹ̀rí footprint Koiki I attended those Ovation call him Bob D Alhaji ló máa ń pè mí ọ̀nà Alhaji and I did an interview with him after one of his Ovation òun lè léyìn nísìnyí I have the number there Dele Momodu káà pé nọ́mbà àwọn méjì gan ni mo ní àṣé kò sí lórí WhatsApp mọ́ mi. That should be on WhatsApp now. So I don't have any problem with him. Ṣé bá wá ṣe interview fún Ìgbòho nílé? Àbẹ́ ti gbàgbé ni. Tá a bá fẹ́ approve interview àní approve ẹ̀ náà. Good morning to you, my dear brother, Mr. Koiki. You're doing a great job. I love your courage. I love everyone as well. So we're gonna just play a little bit of this and we come out of it. We don't have to because tó bá ti ń ṣe video tiwa, we can't focus on this. Our comfort today, these politicians are fraudsters. Nítorí bí tó ti fẹ́ jẹ náà ni.
trafficking, people trafficking, you name it. Serious, horrible crimes usually move the money using a company with hidden owners, which is why we're very pleased that the UK has just said it will bring in a register of the real owners of companies. We've also campaigned for 15...
UK real owners of companies. Why should UK government hide companies that is meant to be in the public domain? So many companies operating here in UK. You don't know who owns them. So many houses are brought here in UK. We don't know who owns them. How can people say, Ara Lesi Bibai or Dara Plus concept? Ṣé Dara Plus kan náà tájọ wà nínú má dárúkọ púpọ̀ o, maybe not. Ṣé ìwọ náà ni ṣá? Mo kàn fẹ́ confirm pé ìwọ ni. Ìyá mi comfort gbogbo ìgbà ni máa ń kí àwọn tí ò máa ń lọ́hùn. Yes, his mindset is as corrupt as a collapsed skyscraper. I greet all the Biafra brothers in the house. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin ẹ̀gbọ́n mi pátápátá ni mò ń kí. Àbúrò ni mo jẹ́ sí gbogbo yín o. And don't look at me as somebody that is difficult to take advice. I do take a lot of advice. People call me behind the scene and say, Koiki, and I do take advice. Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ ní jẹ́ kí n jọra mi lójú. And I always say I'm not the bravest, I'm not the boldest, but I'll be part of this movement until we get to the final destination. Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ ló bẹ́ẹ̀ àṣà àǹtí mi jíire ní Ọlọ́run ti gbèjà wa. Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ ti gbàdúrà wa. Torí tó bá fẹ́ gbàdúrà wa ni kò ní connect the dots. Even those that still disagree with some of our views from the perspective of another angle, we don't have any issues with them. But eventually, things will start changing.
Years for new laws that would require oil and mining companies to disclose what they pay to governments. Now, this is on the basis that the people of Nigeria might stand a chance of holding their government to account for the missing oil billions if they knew how much should have been paid in the first place. That we've now won new laws in Washington and in Brussels that would make this happen. But some of the oil companies are trying to gut these laws. I wonder what they're so worried is going to come out if they have to reveal their payments. We'll come back to that in a moment, because I should perhaps first explain how on earth I got here.
I'm going to leave that for now and then come out of that so that we can move into Oro ISIS. But before we go into ISIS, let me show you where you can get a link of that video that we just watched. I think I should, let's come here. This is Global Witness. Global Witness. I'll share the link as well, but it's very, very straightforward. It's globalwitness.org. These are all different atrocities the Nigerian government have done for you. Not literally the APC, but even the PDP and even the ones that are there as far back as in the 60s. Look at this one here. A decade-long oil boom has transformed Nigeria's economy into the largest in Africa. But yet, hundreds of billions of dollars in oil revenues are estimated to have gone missing from Nigerian state coffer since 2011. We have investigated and exposed the oil giant's shell and end role in the scandalous deal for Nigeria OPL 245. There's another one here. So Tebashile, listen, you will be surprised of different articles, reports, leaked emails. It takes people, but because Nigeria, but this is where the money is. This is where all the corrupt money is. Dollar nila royo. Thank you very much, Yawa Felicia Olaka, for the super chat. Mo like it, baby. Don't joke. Other party lost in Yoruba Nation pẹ̀lú baby and Eshegoni. I appreciate. Thank you very much. Everything we get also goes back into this. What we do, we pay. You exploit anything. I pay on show exploit. We pay for all these softwares. I pay for the Zoom. I have a full Zoom package. I pay for the MixLR. MixLR, people are listening to it as I speak to you right now. And then we continue to support little by little as well from the little that we're getting. And we also have a family to take care of, because people do ask, Koiki, how do you manage to live? Because what you do, we see you all the time online and do. I say, well, I'm a freelance. And that's why we continue to demand that we, not demand, we asked for support. Because demand is like, no, that's the wrong word to use. And that also helps me to offset some of my own little bills and, take care of the family, Because it just about wash everything with share me. I won't have as much time as what I'm putting in now. Hey, imagine if I have to go and resume work. So it's easy for me at 5 o'clock to be online and educate people, even if it's 5 of us, and I'm sure we are more than 5. I mean, we're streaming on multiple channels this morning, and people are listening, they're watching, people on YouTube, and different time zone, so even if I catch 10 people online, direction tó bá ní kí n lọ náà ni máa lọ, tó bá ní mo lè lọ, ẹ mọ̀ pé èèyàn lè ṣiṣẹ́ 2 hours tí sáré lọ ṣe cleaning 2 hours, but yìí tí máa fi lọ ṣe cleaning 2 hours lèmi fi jókòó nísìn, mo máa fi sọ̀rọ̀ bí i 2 hours, ìgbà mi ò lè jẹ́ 3 hours, ìgbà mi ò lè lọ sí 4 hours, ara iṣẹ́ náà nìyẹn. But tí bá lọ ṣiṣẹ́ 2 hours nílùú ìnísìn, even I always say the basic job mean with no experience, wọ́n á san bí i £10 an hour fún mi as a basic. So tí bá ṣe 2 hours, ó jẹ́ £20, and for the 2 hours, tí bá ní mo fẹ́ ṣe overtime, how many hours? Mo ní kọ́ fún mi náà, that's ó di £40. Tí bá ṣe £40 bẹ́ẹ̀, every Monday to Friday, I multiply it. So the time I put there is not because of the money, it's because I have said it, I will put in all the energy. And we appreciate that energy has revived the conversation. People are now asking the question, should we go into 2023? Should we go for restructuring? Should we divide the country? It's because Bugua put effort into it, not literally myself alone, but I can categorically say we are not stopping the effort, and we will continue, and we appreciate everybody that is putting the effort in. So it's called Global Witness. You can read as many different court cases, you'll be surprised. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wo eléyìí, ṣe fídíò ni. Ẹ jẹ́ ká kàn gbọ́ eléyìí díẹ̀ nísìn. Hey, Yami Comfort, Olagunju, Eshigoni, thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. So, all these companies are 419. So let's leave that. I think we've dealt with that issue, but we will always come back to these issues all the time. Maybe you do not know, you can remember to be part of ELANO. When I said ELANO UK, I mean, as much as it's a UK chapter, but it still works with the ELANO in Nigeria and everywhere, ELANO as well. We're bringing the ELANO US very soon. What I think platform is for everybody, and if anybody has other things that they are doing that's got to do with this movement, you want us to help you to promote it. But I don't promote businesses, not because we don't want to. We can do that on the Star Radio, but on the Yoruba Nation platform that we are running, I won't do that. So I must send a message, money shop, montaja, promoted. We won't do that. I'm very sorry. But if it has anything to do with Yoruba Nation movement, we can take private jobs as long as it's going to. I don't have to go into too much details, but it's private. It's not going to come on our social media, so that's fine. That's what we used to do in the past. We can do all those little things. But if it's anything to do with Yoruba Nation, if you call a cover and to relate more Yoruba Nation, as long as you can pay for the logistics, the team will travel down there, and as long as their safety will be guaranteed as well, we can do that. So we do assess some of those things as well, especially I'm sure a lot of you know that our platform is a target for the Nigerian government, and the last thing we want is put danger to any of our team that is working on the ground in Nigeria. So we do appreciate everybody. So you can become part of ELANO, for under £5. Why should you join? Nigeria has been bad for Yoruba between 1952 and 1959. Yati Jewagon. The Yoruba Western region of Nigeria was the most developed and the most successful region on the whole of the continent of Africa. If that trend had continued, Yoruba land would today be comparable to South Korea and to Singapore. Singapore is less than 6 million population and one of the most, high. When you talk about their security, you can't invade Singapore with the kind of high tech that they have. Indeed, although much of Nigerians' wealth comes from Yoruba land, the regions remain impoverished. Under the guise of its federal character policy, Nigerian government takes resources from the Yoruba land to give to the north, puts unqualified northerners in charge of everything and limit the opportunities for Yoruba. Shirolopa, most places in the Nigeria today is headed by the northerners. We have few Yorubas that are among them, but the Yorubas will not be allowed to get the lead. They'll probably become, the deputy or the second underneath any Hausa, Fulani that has continued to dominate every part of Nigeria. Nigerian government kills off Yoruba industries. Do we have any industries today? We don't have them. Those industries has continued to kind of wiped away from our territories. Àwọn kan tẹ̀ sọ pé nígbà kan máa ń ṣe ọ̀kín biscuit Ìlọrin ni, kíní kan Odùtọ́lá tire, all our farms, everything has been destroyed. So we are not literally producing anything as Yoruba people, not because we don't have the capacity to produce ketchup, not because we don't have capacity to produce biscuit, cement, but rather the government has BUA is making some 15 billion naira on stock market every day or something like that. I don't know how true that is, but they've literally killed ship motor Latin America. You can send the container. Good morning, my team. Good morning, welcome on board. So this is one of the biggest threats, to mankind, as Yoruba people. I mean, how can we be living as it's totally unacceptable, that a society that is meant to live a better life, we can't live that basic life. So these are still reasons why you should join ELANO. Under the guise of its federal character policy, the Nigerian government takes resources from Yoruba land to give to the northern, put unqualified northerners in charge of everything, and limit opportunities for Yoruba. Nigerian government kill off the Yoruba industries, make them redundant, of course, then to be abandoned. Nigeria has been destroyed. Nigeria has all but destroyed the education system. I mean, when we talk about our education system, just in case you're wondering where I'm reading from, our education system is, I think we were in secondary school. I'm sure you can go back and ask yourself. Good morning, Prince _IMJ on Instagram, and I greet everybody on Instagram. I expect people always, people say share the broadcast. I don't say that, but I expect people to do that because it just get the message out there to more wider audience. And if you don't do so, it still doesn't make any difference. I love when people use my video because it also helps to promote Yoruba Nation. I'll never come and say nobody should use our video. I've always said that, and I'll continue to say that. It doesn't make any difference to me. Our education system has now been compromised. We now, not that we don't have the talent of people there, but the system itself. And when we talk about education, it has to be our language, our culture, who we are, our history. All these things is now something that, education system, the pride of Yoruba, our educated Yoruba youth are fleeing Nigeria in droves for greener pasture. I mean, we have doctors that are running away out of Nigeria. We have, medical engineers that would rather want to live outside Nigeria rather than live in Nigeria. Nobody wants to go back home and help those at home, not because we don't want to, because we look at the danger. And nobody been abroad for a very long time. It will be difficult to live in a society where your human right. Mo sọ fún yín pé ẹ̀gbọ́n wa kan lọ sílé, I mean tí bá ní ẹ̀gbọ́n wa gbogbo yìí tẹ́yìn gbọ́n mi náà lẹ̀gbọ́n mi. Eventually he dropped his wife and the wife's friend somewhere, in Lagos, and before you know, last man say he was doing kabu kabu. How can somebody that lives in UK, kódà ẹ̀gbọ́n yẹn ó share receipt yẹn pẹ̀lú mi, he paid 25,000 naira, his tire was deflated. Even if he has done something wrong, there must be a process. Nigeria doesn't have a process. Nothing doesn't seem to be working. Are we going to continue to pretend as if something is working? Everybody knows it's not working. The basic things that should work to support a society is not there. So what more can we say? Nigeria imprisoned Chief Awolowo in 1962, the mother of Chief Abiola in 1993, the Yoruba who aspired to the highest political office in the land. Nigeria assassinated Dele Giwa. Let me show you his face. I mean, Dele Giwa was killed before he was age 40. Do you understand that? He died at the age of 39. It means he was 40 plus. That means this man did not survive to witness anything called even the Nigeria. He was killed by a male bomb. Do you understand that? But as at 1986, Nigeria, what in fee, and it was Babangida. Babangida will send the letter bomb to Dele Giwa. Because it's not the first time he's receiving letters or mail from the presidency. It's from Ile-Ife. And now, that same Dele Momodu knows about this issue, knows about something like this, and then he's still telling us we should keep one Nigeria. So how do we, Ṣebí Ile-Ife náà kan náà ni gbogbo wọn ti jọ wá, according to him. Ṣebí Ife náà ni wọ́n bí Dele Giwa sí. He was born on the 16th in 1947. How old would he have been today? And I mean, he could have been alive if he was living abroad, because he would have been able to do the job properly. So 2022, so calculate on the minus 1947. Dele Giwa would have been 75 years old, and he would have been passing his talent to the next generation. Right there, he was wasted and he was killed, assassinated by President, the dictator Babangida. Dele Giwa was speaking the truth. He was exposing them, but they didn't want that, they didn't like that, and they eventually sent a letter bomb. And then somebody like Dele Momodu said we should keep one Nigeria. Dele Momodu, Dele Giwa. I mean, it's uncalled for. Dele Giwa was well read. He read at the education in Brooklyn College in New York City. He knew what he was doing. He set up a news watch with another colleague of himself. But eventually, 19th of October was a sad day for the people that knows him, and eventually he was killed. And then we still have people talking about, let's save Nigeria. You can't save Nigeria. Nigeria did not save Dele Giwa. They eventually killed him, just as they killed Tolulope Arotile. Ẹ ti gbàgbé now. Tolulope Arotile was the youngest. Tolulope. Man messed me up. Arotile. Look at her. She was born in 1995, killed by Nigeria on the 20th of July, on July 14, 2020. The youngest, first ever military combat pilot. Do you understand the kind of maths tó wà lórí bèbí? A ti gbàgbé, àrántí mọ́. Tolúlọpẹ́ Olúwatóyìn, ó ní fídíò ẹ̀kan tí mo ní láti lọ wá ibi tó ti ń jó, ó dà kó wà ní chọ́ọ̀chì ni, wọ́n kọrin yẹn ló ń jó kékékéké, àṣekú yẹn dúró dé báyìí. People die, don't get me wrong, but wọ́n pa ilé ìtorí pé ó máa ní inside information tó bá jáde báyìí ó ń pa àwọn wèrè Boko Haram yẹn ni wọ́n lẹ́ra ẹ mọ tẹ́ ń rán wá yìí ó ń pa wá ni ẹ sọ fún pé kó má pa wá ni wọ́n náà wọ́n sọ fún kò gbọ́ ni ibi tó bá ní kó lọ kò ní lọ́bẹ̀ a gbé helicopter yẹn lọ síbò mi á fáyà wọn wọ́n ò rí pa àwọn animọ́tò rí báàsì pa how you imagine àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ̀ lọ kí ẹ máa gbọ́rọ̀ ọ̀dẹ̀ àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ ẹ̀ lọ kí nígbà tó wá kí wọ́n fẹ́ kí ó wá fi mọ́tò sí rìvásì mọ́tò yẹn ó wá gun orí ẹ̀ kábíyèsí ọlọ́run Tolúlọpẹ́ Arótilẹ̀ was the first ever female combat helicopter pilot. The second girl yẹn ọmọ Ìjẹ̀bú Òde nìyẹn jẹ́ra àwọn òbí yẹn wọ́n ti á sè jiná dáadáa. Kọ́lọ́n fọ́run kẹ́ Tolúlọpẹ́. So you can go to Global Witness, you get more details on that. Now let's come back to ọ̀rọ̀ ISIS. Ìyẹn gangan ló jẹ wá lógún. Mo sọ lánàá bọ̀. Àwa fẹ́ wo fídíò kan, padà wo fídíò yẹn tán. So ìmọ̀ àwa play fídíò yẹn nísìn. Mo lè play gbogbo eléyìí délẹ̀. I think it's UN lóní, so we shouldn't have any problem. It's about 15 minutes, so we might take time. Sori what to understand in terms of lórí ISIS, the ISIL they don't pay or whatever. I pity you. Dele Momodu, according to Sonny Heron here on YouTube, Dele Momodu is it's out of his memory, just trying to manipulate himself. The larger mouth stink. He's a social media president. He sit down there, he's talking to people. My father died at age 13. I was rich. I was not rich. We were poor. Story for the God. I'm to poor. Ṣèbí Nàìjíríà ló jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn poor. Ṣé èèyàn láti poor tẹ́lẹ̀ ni? À ń sọ̀rọ̀ pé ká kúrò ní Nàìjíríà. He's talking about let's keep on Nigeria. Kí ni Nàìjíríà fẹ́ ṣe fún wa? Nigeria that is not a country. It's a messed up country. I just pity the people there that are still thinking Nigeria is going to work. Ayomikun say breaking 2 hours ago, NNPC may spend 20 billion to clean 170. Another 419 here. Ọlọgbé dirty fuel wa. Wọ́n tó wá fẹ́ fi 201 billion láti fi clean ẹ̀. Ṣé rí pé Nigeria ti dorí kodò bẹ́ẹ̀ ni. So, not sure. Afromania Bamidele, thank you very much. Moki. Yomi, please try number for Dele Momodu. I have his number. I don't have to try his number. Dele Momodu. Media money number amongst everybody. I used to have his direct contact, but I've not contacted him ever since we started Yoruba Nation. Yeah, I mean, I've been in touch with few people since we started, but not Dele Momodu. But he has been in touch with somebody that is very close to me, just to check one or two things. Especially when the issue of Chief Sunday IGBOHO started. So I was getting a lot of message from people like them, but they're not contacting me directly, but through somebody I know. So let's watch this. It's about 15 minutes. I might do some analysis around it, but the conversation is about the ISIL. We are in a big mess. Big mess. So that katu lọ gbọ́ fídíò yẹn. Ṣẹ̀rí tẹ́ ń wò ní bíbá UN Security Council ló sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ẹ̀. And when the UN is speaking, remember they have the resources. Tẹ́mi bá ní resources nísìn, èmi náà lè máa náwọn kankan tá máa lọ máa ṣe, tá máa travel káàkiri. Journalist is meant to be traveling to make inquiries about different things, especially as we're doing Yoruba Nation. Very soon we're planning to come to America, but when the time gets closer, we will let everybody know. But we will definitely need, as much support before I can make that trip. I know a lot of people want me to come to America and Canada, but America is the first place I'm planning to come. And we're going to make a tour, Yoruba Nation tour. Koiki Media tour, but under for Yoruba Nation. So we come around, we go different places, we speak to people, and then, because this movement is not shiri and very tasty. So I'm going to read this and play a video and then get something to drink. It's coming up to 6 a.m. Last day fún àwọn ọmọ wa ní school ní UK lélẹ̀. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin bàbá wa, ẹ̀yin ìyá wa, gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọ̀nkú mi tí ẹ ní good plan fún Nàìjíríà tẹ́lẹ̀, ẹ má waste time ara yín mọ́. Ẹ keep plan yẹn sínú portfolio. Yorùbá máa dá dúró. Gbogbo plan yẹn ẹ lọ execute ẹ. Ẹ ní need láti lọ wá governor kankan. Ẹ ní need láti lọ wá senator kankan. Toma buying sort of anyhow. Some of our uncles that have gone to Nigeria to do a project, some of these senators don't care. They don't give a toss. Anyway, let's come back to the conversation. According to the United Nations, the Undersecretary General has also reported on the expansion of the network. They just increase the frontier so that here in EX-KANO, you can read along with me. So I'm going to blow a dear code to be there, So Intafeka orí UN news ni, so kò ń ṣe pé Koiki ló make it up. Tó bá dé believe sórí ibi tí Nàìjíríà wà lélẹ̀, jẹ́ ń dá padà sẹ́yìn. Àwa la wà below no mistake no share. No, not this one. Oh my God. Ilé ni mo fẹ́ lò. Nàìjíríà tá bá ń sọ̀rọ̀ ìlú tí terrorist pọ̀ sí jù lágbàáyé as at today, àwa ni number 3. Òun ló ń wò yẹn. No be ṣeré. Iraq ni number 2. Ó mọ bí Iraq ṣe wà ń bẹ̀ torí àwọn ISIS kún bẹ̀ rẹpẹtẹ. Jaburata. Afghanistan number 1. America, gbogbo Europe country wọ́n sá lọ because wọ́n lè waste owó kankan mọ́ after tó ti jà. Syria ni number 4. Somalia number 5. Ìyá rẹ̀ tó máa wọ pé Somalia gan á wà lókè. Àwa ni number 3. Do you understand? Ẹ náà fún àwọn èèyàn tẹ̀ understand the magnitude of taban sọ fáwa ni number 3. Ẹ mọ̀ pé ìlú tó bá jẹ́ number 3 kò sí nǹkan tó máa ṣiṣẹ́ bẹ̀. Tourist ò ní ṣiṣẹ́, businesses máa sá. Ìyẹn ló ṣe ń gbé lọ sí Ghana. So let me quickly read this and play the video and I can get something to drink. Ẹ mọ̀ pé mo sọ̀rọ̀ lórí Epic Center lánàá and we did a meaning of Epic Center. So Epic Center ẹ mí pé ibi tí wàhálà pọ̀ sí jù pronunciation ẹ̀.
Epicenter.
The center point of something, typically a difficult or unpleasant situation. So the unpleasant situation ta ní Nàìjíríà ni pé ìyá wa yìí ó pè mí lánàá àwọn kò ń ṣe àwọn family wọn. Wọ́n ní kó lọ wá 110 million naira wọ́n ní kó lọ wá àwọn tó kidnap ìyá wa tó dà yìí lẹ́wà. Ẹ bá túbọ̀ fàdúrà ràn wọ́n lọ́wọ́. Wọ́n ti make contact àwọn terrorists tó kidnap wọn. Wọ́n ti make contact pẹ̀lú family. So they are requesting for 110 million. So mo sọ fáwọn yẹn pé ẹ try láti negotiate pẹ̀lú wọn náà ni because kí la fẹ́ ṣe sí kò sí ọlọ́pàá kankan. Kaduna dẹ̀ ló ti ṣẹlẹ̀. So àbí kí ni Koiki fẹ́ ṣe sí ká gbàdúrà k'Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kí wọ́n tú wọn sílẹ̀ kó má abuse wọn kó má ṣe tí a fẹ́ fún wọn. So the family called me yesterday and I appreciate the work that we are doing. Ẹ mọ̀ kí mo sọ fún yín pé lára wọn wà lára àwọn tó kó lọ ní G49 ní July 3rd. He spoke to me yesterday and said ẹ̀gbọ́n mi Koiki wọ́n ti make contact o àdúpẹ́ fọ́lọ́run mo níyẹn náà bẹ́ẹ̀ dá àti gbọ́hùn wọn pé àlàáfíà lọ́wọ́ àwọ̀ ìjípa wọn. This is Nigeria. Imagine wọ́n kidnap èèyàn ní Kaduna governor rán any security kan lọ rescue wọn. I pity my people. I pity my Yoruba people. Ṣẹlẹ̀ ní tẹ́ ń gbé ní north tẹ́ni ẹ̀ tábà ẹ má dá wàhálà lẹ́ o north làwa ń gbé o kí ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀ o ní tó bá máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ní kó ṣẹlẹ̀ ìsídà kẹ́ padà wá sílé ọ̀kẹ́ keep ara yín sí north tàbá dẹ̀ ti pín kẹ́ máa bọ̀ nílé kò mú iná àní sọ pé n kì í ṣọmọ Yorùbá bọ̀kẹ́ wá sọ pé torí ẹ̀yin ń gbé ní north àwọn sọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá nation ṣé mi mo lọ kidnap ìyá yìí nísìn ní north ìyá wa tó da lẹ́wà burúkú yìí wọ́n ti kidnap wọn nísìn they are demanding almost 100 million wọ́n negotiate lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ báyìí so ẹ túbọ̀ máa fi àdúrà ran ìyá yẹn lọ́wọ́ àti gbogbo àwọn tó wà nínú ìhámọ́ orúkọ wọn máa jẹ́ Mrs. Rukayat Abọ́lọ́rìnwá ẹ̀yin tí àwa tẹ̀ ń ṣàdúrà ẹ jẹ́ máa bá wa fi wọ́n sínú àdúrà mo mọ̀ wọ́n rí but ọmọ Yorùbá náà ni wọ́n ẹni tó bá ti jẹ́ ọmọ Yorùbá ọmọ ìyá kan náà ni gbogbo wa ẹ bá máa fi wọ́n ṣàdúrà pé kí Ọlọ́run kó sínú àwọn terrorist nínú kó release wọn. Yes, Nigeria number 3 terrorized country, number 1 poverty capital in the world, debt in trillions of dollars, and it seems our people do not understand. So eléyìí is ongoing. So let's come back here quickly. The Undersecretary General also reported on the expansion of the network and its affiliates beyond Syria and Iraq. Tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ lọ wo Syria ní inú trend yìí, ṣe rí pé ibi tí Syria wà ní, Iraq wà lókè, Nigeria wà láàrin ẹ̀. So, which he said continues at an unsettling scale and pace. Ẹ mọ̀ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni Gazette ti mú story yẹn jáde, but source gangan nísìnyí lèmi ti ń kà. So kẹrẹ ìwé ni pé bí a journalist Gazette ló kọ́kọ́ source yẹn gangan lélẹ̀. This is a UN website. No be ṣeré-ṣeré. Wọ́n lè má sọ yẹn fún yín Nàìjíríà. The epic center of the group activities now appear to be where African continent, with terrorist activities intensifying in Central and West Africa, especially àwọn ibi tó ti wà tó ń gbóná rẹpẹtẹ. Àwọn ibi tó dẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ dárúkọ yẹn tá bá lọ wò kò sí nínú number 1 to 10. Cameroon concept number 13 ló wà. Whereas wọ́n dárúkọ Cameroon ní bíbá mo fẹ́ wo àwọn ìlú tó dárúkọ ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo Burkina Faso. Níbo ni Burkina Faso wà níbí báyìí? Mo fẹ́ lọ wá Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso wà ní number 12. Wọ́n pè and take a note. Burkina Faso wà ní number 12. Cameroon wà ní number 13. Nigeria wà ní number 3. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tún wo ìlú tó dárúkọ níbí báyìí. Wọ́n dárúkọ Democratic Republic of Congo. Democratic Republic of Congo wà ní number 9. Ìkan náà ọmọ ìyá kan náà ní gbogbo wọn náà anyway. Wọ́n dárúkọ Mali. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo ibi tí Mali wà. Mali wà ní number 11. Wọ́n pè ń follow mi. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo ibi tí ìlú wo ló tún dárúkọ níbí báyìí. Then wọ́n wá dárúkọ okay. Àti mọ̀ ibi tí Nàìjíríà wà. Àgbákò ìlú nìyẹn. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo ibi tí Mozambique àti Tanzania wà. Mozambique tí ó jẹ́ borderline. Mozambique wà ní number 15. Kí lórúkọ ìlú kẹta tí mo dárúkọ rẹ̀ nísìnyí? Tanzania. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ ibi tí Tanzania wà. Ọmọ ìyá kan náà ní gbogbo wọn. Ṣẹ̀rí àwọn UK àwọn yẹn wà ní number 30. Àwọn ìlú tí kò ní terrorist ní púpọ̀. Kò ní pé kò sí o, but àwọn náà ní lóko dàbí. Ibo ni Tanzania wà? Àmàrí Tanzania kẹ̀. Tanzania wà. Okay, Tanzania wà ní number 58. Ǹgbọ́ oníkankan tí mo fẹ́ wò. Ṣẹ̀rí Iceland kò sí terrorist. Mélòó ni gbogbo Iceland? Ṣẹ̀rí reason tá a ṣe máa ń try láti compare àwọn ìlú yẹn ni pé now Iceland wà nísàlẹ̀ pátápátá. Very less terrorist. Rárá lọ́wọ́ kò sí terrorist kankan nílùú wọn. Ẹ pé 0 ni. Ẹ dẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ gbogbo Iceland yẹn nísìn. Ẹ wá máa wonder pé ṣé orí wa burú ni? Ẹ wo gbogbo Iceland population wọn. Ẹ jẹ́ n fi population sí. As at 2021, the whole population of Iceland is 368,000. Kò tẹ̀ tó community ní gan ní abúlé wa lọ́hùn. Ẹ ṣé gan ni bàbá wa dé Ọ̀ṣun Timothy. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wà ní Ogun State, Lagos, Ọ̀yọ́, Kwara, Kogi, Ọ̀ṣun, Ondo. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá tí ẹ̀ ń bẹ ní ilẹ̀ Haúsá àti ilẹ̀ Ìgbò. Àkúrọ̀jú. Ẹ wo ibi tí Iceland wà. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ wo GDP wọn. GDP per capita ní 2020. $59 billion. Ireland ní 83 billion. So kí la wá ń sọ? Let's come back here. Now, the epicenter, so màá wá ka story yẹn nísìn. Well, not story, that's what they've said according to the United Nations. Ẹ má sọ pé story ni. The epicenter of the group's activities now appears to be the African continent, with terrorist activities intensifying in Central and West Africa, especially in Burkina Faso, Cameroon, the Democratic Republic of Congo, Mali, Niger, and Nigeria. Attacks increasingly reported in border area between Mozambique and Tanzania, pointing to potential spillover effect. Tó bá sọ pé nǹkan spill, ẹ mọ̀ pé tẹ́ bá ń pọnmi sínú korobá, tómi ẹ bá di pọ̀ jù bó ṣe yẹ lọ, tí bá lọ pọnmi nígbà tí mo wà lÉkòó, tómi ẹ bá ti pọ̀ jù báyìí tí mo bá ti ń rìn, á máa fì, á máa dànù títí tí máa fi dókè. Alájà máa ní Yọmi má máa jẹ́ kómi ẹ má pọ́n kún púpọ̀. Ìgbà míì mo máa ń ṣe super power, máa gbé korobá méjì sọ́wọ́. Tó bá dẹ̀ ti ń lọ bẹ́yẹn, omi yẹn á máa dànù tó bá ti pọ̀ jù. Yẹn ló ń pè ní spillover. Spillover yẹn náà ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀ báyìí o, tó fi kidnap ìyá wa yìí o. Àìmọye àwọn tó ń kidnap bẹ́ẹ̀, wọ́n wá ń gba ransom lọ́wọ́ wa. Wọ́n ń pè ní spillover. Wọ́n ti bímọ rẹpẹtẹ sọ́dọ̀ wa báyìí. The spillover effect that could reach even beyond the continent. Wọ́n tún sọ pé ó tún lè kọjá continent yẹn. He urged countries, ẹ máa gbọ́ o, àwọn UN sọ fún àwọn urged countries to use every tool at their disposal to sustain important gains made against Daesh ló máa ń pè wọ́n, preventing its further regional expansion, curtailing its attacks capability, and preventing additional recruitment. Ìlú yẹn làwa wá sọ pé a fi wà láàrin ẹ̀. Ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ̀ mọ̀ ń tán pè ní Isil. Ẹgbọ́n kan tí UN sọ níbí báyìí. Wọ́n náà ń sọ fáwọn ìlú pé kíní máa kọjá continent Africa o, because they are making gains, they are recruiting more people. Wọ́n ní owó, bastard money wà lọ́wọ́ wọn in dollars and pounds. Àwọn ISIS tẹ́ ń sọ yìí. Àwa ń sọ̀rọ̀ àwọn owó kéékèèké. Tàbá ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ owó nísìn àwọn èèyàn máa fẹ́ Koiki owó lẹ̀ ń dárúkọ bẹ́ẹ̀. But àwọn tó fẹ́ bá wa jà owó gidi wà lọ́wọ́ wọn. A dẹ̀ ní government tó support láti prevent it. Do you think Nigerian government is preventing this? Or they are allowing it to come true? Ìbéèrè ni o. Táwọn mọ̀ kó wá sọ. Do you think that the government, do you think ìjẹ́rò lọ́kàn pé ìjọba government ta ní nísìn on the state and the federal, because tá bá ń prevent any, this should not happen to this woman. If Nigerian government was preventing terrorist attack, ó yẹ kó ti rescue woman láti on the 9 èní ní 11 ó sì wà lọ́wọ́ àwọn kidnapper wọ́n wá negotiate adẹ̀nà ní security. So ẹ̀yin tí à ń ṣàlàyé fún ẹ̀ ń fi etí kúnkún kò ń ṣẹ́yìn tẹ́ ń gbọ́ wa o. Àwọn tó wà nílé mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin olùṣọ́ mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin evangelist wa tẹ́ ń wò wá. Gbogbo àdúrà tẹ́ ń ṣe là ń ṣe àṣẹ sí là ń ṣe àmì sí à ń ṣe pé inshallah torí pé a mọ̀ pé ìjà tá gbé dání ìpàtẹ́ kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà ìjà Ọlọ́run ọba ni kò ń ṣe ìjà ọmọ ènìyàn. Àwa kọ̀ máa sọ pé àwa náà rẹ́dì láti lọ torí Ọlọ́run ò ní sọ̀kalẹ̀. Ọlọ́run máa sọ̀kalẹ̀ irọ́ lápá èèyàn náà ló máa ránṣẹ́. Ó dẹ̀ ti bẹ̀ wá níṣẹ́ nísìn káwa máa jíṣẹ́ yẹn fún gbogbo wa ni. Gbogbo ẹ̀yin JP gbogbo ẹ̀yin bishop gbogbo ẹ̀yin àfà ẹ̀yin hulama tẹ́ ń sọ òtítọ́ tẹ́ dúró lórí òtítọ́ pé ìyà ń jọmọ Yorùbá tó ń ṣèwọ tó ń sọ pé wọ́n Nàìjíríà torí Nàìjíríà kì í ṣe ìlú Ọlọ́run rẹ̀ kọ́ ló dá Nàìjíríà. À ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ISIS lọ́wọ́ tó ẹ̀ bá ti understand ìjà gidi làwọn lè máa bá yín jà. Àwọn eléyìí yàtọ̀ sí Boko Haram. Ẹ já padà sórí nọ́mbà yẹn kọ́là. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Koiki.
Ẹ káàbọ̀ sà.
Ṣé rí kí nìyẹn gbà?
Mo ìtẹ̀tẹ̀ a ṣe wà lórí ètò màá wò màá check màá pè yín later. Màá send message sí màá send message sí ẹ ṣé gan ni thank you very much. Màá ṣe ní sìn màá check ẹ̀ all right. So bí ṣe ń bá ọ̀rọ̀ yẹn lọ ẹ̀yin olólùfẹ́ wa ISIS yàtọ̀ sí Boko Haram UN ló ń sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ nísìnyí ó ní wọ́n tún máa kọjá continent Africa. That means pé they have intention kí ló fẹ́ ṣe wọ́n fẹ́ dúró lórí ilẹ̀ ní ẹ wo bó ṣe bà Iraq jẹ́ ẹ lọ wo bó ṣe bà Syria jẹ́. Buildings in the old center of Sinji in Iraq destroyed by the Islamic State or Daesh. Gbogbo tó bá jẹ́ kí ló ń pè gbogbo tó bá jẹ́ nǹkan tó jẹ́ cultural kíní wa wọ́n máa wipe it off completely wọ́n máa wipe it off. Wọ́n máa ṣe kíni wọ́n máa wipe it off gbogbo tó bá jẹ́ kíní wọn. Wọ́n máa wipe it off òun làwọn fi ń ṣeré à ń fi ISIS ṣeré à ń fi ISIS àfi ń ṣeré. Gbogbo tó bá jẹ́ heritage site wa wọ́n máa destroy it because I won't believe in that. They don't believe in it. They don't believe in it. They will destroy everything that you can think of. And that is why we are saying now that the quicker tabakuro eléyìí yàtọ̀ sí Fúlàní tó wà nínú igbó ẹgbọ́n mi yé Fúlàní kan wà nínú igbó ọ̀rọ̀ ISIS ò ṣe Fúlàní tó wà nínú igbó àwọn máa kọ́kọ́ destroy gbogbo heritage site wa pé àwọn ọ̀fẹ́ rí kankan tó jọ bẹ́ẹ̀ because wọ́n believe pé ẹbọ ni àwọn nǹkan yẹn kódà irú túmbù bàbá wa ti bá fẹ́ máa wó lọ́wọ́ wá destroy ẹ̀ ẹ wo bó ṣe destroy Iraq wọ́n destroy Iraq kò sí kékeré ìyẹn làwọn wá fi ń ṣeré à ń fi ISIS àfi ṣeré wọ́n ní they can even expand out of the continent that means pé wọ́n ti ní agbára láti kúrò nínú continent yẹn tó ń pè ní Africa kó tún lọ sínú continent míì òun làwọn fi ń ṣeré bí eyín ọmọ ejò I pity my people. I pity my people. We don't know what is about to unleash on us. The quicker we leave Nigeria, we can now have a defense, mechanism. ẹ káàárọ̀ ìyá wa Adémọ́lá Yétúndé JP gbogbo tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀ ni mo fi ń dárúkọ yín aago mẹ́fà ṣẹ́ẹ̀lù lọ́dọ̀ wa níbí. The robbery that happened in Ibadan, if the system is working, there should be an helicopter patrol monitor the movement of those thieves. Ẹ̀yin tẹ̀ tún lọ tó fa helicopter tó lọ gbé bàbá wa Dúdú Heritage nígbà tí ó ní attack nínú golf club ló máa gbà níbi tó lè ti ní attack yìí. As we begin a new decade of counterterrorism, it is time to ask ourselves difficult questions. Mo ń bi ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá nísìn, ǹjẹ́ fẹ́ wà nínú ìlú tí ISIS ti wà nínú already? Tí ó dárúkọ Nàìjíríà níbí, èmi kọ́ ni mo sọ, United Nations ló ń sọ̀rọ̀. À ń fi ṣeré. Ẹ jẹ́ ká gbọ́ fídíò yẹn díẹ̀. Kí n lọ mú bóyá nǹkan gbóná ni mo tẹ̀ fi mú nǹkan tútù ni, kì í ṣàpẹ̀lọ́wọ́ nǹkan mú náà. Ẹ jẹ́ ká jọ gbọ́ fídíò yẹn.
Voronkov. Thank you very much, President.
I thank the Security Council for the opportunity to brief you today. Just over 20 years ago, the footage of planes crashing into the Twin Towers here in downtown New York was seared into the minds of millions of people as Al-Qaeda terrorists killed in a short span of time nearly 3,000 people from the United States and more than 90 other countries. Only 2 weeks later, on 28th of September 2001, the Security Council demonstrated decisive leadership and resolve with the adoption of its Resolution 1373 and the establishment of its Counterterrorism Committee. International peace and security and support for the victims of terrorist attacks around the world are the core values for the United Nations counter-terrorism efforts. I wish to offer my sincere condolences to the governments and people who have suffered from acts of terrorism. My heartfelt thoughts and sympathies will forever be with the survivors and the families of victims. Today, Al-Qaeda and Daesh and their various affiliates remain serious threats, while terrorist attacks based on xenophobia, racism, and intolerance are increasing. As we begin a new decade of counterterrorism, it's time to ask ourselves difficult questions and search for honest answers.
It's time to ask ourselves difficult questions. Ǹjẹ́ a fẹ́ kúrò nínú Nàìjíríà so that we can know and find a better answer? Because the longer we are staying in that union, the more we are trapped in debt, insecurity, welfare, education. We're going to wind down now so that we can join, we're going to wind down. I'm going to keep our committee online. So I'm going to wind down from this side and we'll come back later on as well so that we can join him and I can join him as well and watch the program. We'll continue again in the afternoon. My name is Olawumi Koiki. I'd like to appreciate each and every one of you that have joined us this morning. Yes, Baba Rupori is already on. So let's go and watch him as well so that I will then come back again later on where we will continue. So
you can't
so that we can see and we can go and watch him as well. So Baba Rupori is live. So let's switch to Baba Rupori and go and listen to him. That's Baba Rupori there.
Tí wọ́n jẹ breakfast wọn lọ́wọ́ bá ṣe ń bẹ́rí ni wọ́n ń bá pa bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe bá pa ni wọ́n ń bẹ́sẹ̀ bá ṣe ń bẹ́ ẹsẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ń bẹ́ ọrùn.
So èmi náà máa lọ enjoy it.
Àwọn ọmọ.
So ẹ jẹ́ ká mú ètò yẹn wá sílẹ̀ bó bá di aago kan lágbára Ọlọ́run á padà wá. Ok, Tájù fẹ́ sáré sọ̀rọ̀ so ẹ jẹ́ ká fún Tájù láyè kó sáré sọ̀rọ̀ kó tó di pé màá mú ètò yẹn wá sílẹ̀. Let me call Tájù back so that we can wind down from here so that we can join and watch and listen to Baba Rupori. All right. Oh yeah, go ahead, because I feel wind down.
Okay. I know you're online, that's why I just come.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It's one hour of us to our show. I don't need that.
Yeah.
Or do more if you go. Because so àwọn nǹkan tó wà lẹ́sìn tàbá ní nǹkan ṣe tó jẹ́ òótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ it's quite time. Yes, bàbá rẹ̀ pọ̀ it were online. But this is the time that everybody needs to come online to use their broadcast message day and night to let people at home to wake up. Because àwọn tó wà nínú máa lọ dìbò. Ìyá tó dẹ̀ lọ́mọ mẹ́fà. Ìyá yẹn ó lè má lọ dìbò ṣùgbọ́n àwọn ọmọ mẹ́fà ló máa lọ dìbò fún APC. But in the sense of it, my own family also are there. But it's embarrassing so you see, and to the other video that you just showed, that's a power and me becoming bad on them. Attacking
Lano.
Lano, that's another okay.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yoruba lèmi àti ẹ ẹni tó bá jẹ́ Kúnlé ń jẹ́ Dayọ̀ Yorùbá ni wá ẹni tó bá ń jẹ́ Adé ẹni tó ń jẹ́ Ṣeun Yorùbá ni wá ká má tí wàá sọ pé ìmàlẹ́ máa sọ pé Emmanuel is an English name àlùmọ̀túbẹ̀ John English name but ẹni tó ń jẹ́ Ṣẹ̀san tèmi ń jẹ́ Kúnlé Yorùbá lájọ lórúkọ wájọ jẹ́ kò sí English name kan wá àlejò contract dé so taba ṣe bákàyè àwọn tó wà Nàìjíríà yìí nìyá máa jẹ o náà lẹbi mo lára ń bẹ wọn kí yàrá ilé ìwé níwọ̀nba ní gbogbo wa ṣe ń pa so àwọn tó wà Nàìjíríà tí mo ní pósítà kan bàbá yẹn náà wọ́n lè máa gbọ́ program ẹ̀ bàbá odò ìbáṣẹ́ àbí Báṣẹ́gun àbí kí ló kọ bàbá yẹn wọ́n wá sórí ìlànà tó gbé wọn wá ní last 2 Báṣẹ́gun wọ́n wà ní clubhouse lónìí anybody tó
oh yeah, I was told yeah ó dùn mí gan mo gbọ́ pé wọ́n clubhouse
ay náà wá sórí clubhouse lánàá I'm part of them I'm good season ay náà wá sórí clubhouse lánàá wọ́n ṣe ń bẹ̀ if you can do from clubhouse Koiki ilé live là ń sọ a máa sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́yìn pé ó ti yẹ.
Okay.
Èyí tá a fẹ́ sọ yìí, èyí tó kù yìí sí ó kù oṣù when almost end of February, oṣù ló ń kà báyìí sí ọ̀fẹ́ di election ní 2023, ibi tó máa já sí àlùsọ. Ibi tó máa já sí àlùsọ ó ti yẹ. So election tó fẹ́ di sí ọba àwọn èèyàn wa tó lè máa jáde lọ sí church wọn ọ̀pọ̀sọ̀ láti wọn àti
awareness.
Nǹkan tó ń bọ̀ lóyún ọmọ ọgbọ́n nínú ọba àlejò ṣùgbọ́n ká sọ fún wa ká lè gbà gbọ́ kó má di pé wọ́n lè sọ fún wa àgbọ̀ àwọn ìgbọ̀ àfàgbọ́ Yorùbá ló ní wọn níbi tó máa ń já sí táwọn bá ti ka àbámọ̀ táwọn bá ti bẹ̀rù nígbẹ̀yìn wọn lọ́rọ̀ ọmọ Yorùbá ó sọ nǹkan lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ní mọ̀mọ́dù ó jáde kó fẹ́ di president kí ló fẹ́ ṣe ẹ má parọ́ fúnra yín after one issue you do.
Thank you very much, my brother. I'll speak to you sometime when you wake up on the other side of the globe. Like we're alone. Ẹ ṣé gan ni gbogbo ẹ̀yin ọmọ káàárọ̀ oòjíire. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ gbọ́ bàbá àròpọ̀ rí and then I'll be back later on in the afternoon. Have a very good morning. Ilé ìgbọ̀ngàn ló ń fún wa ní àtàtà. Mo appreciate every single body that is there. Yoruba nation has come to stay. That the Yoruba politician as in plead pẹ̀lú yín come back home. Tó bá dé stage kan, you know, whatever happened then, we just have to continue to say, come back home. I won't say more than that. Bye for now. Have a very good morning. Let's go. Adéwálé.
jọ òkè lẹ́yìn fún òkè.